Quiet.
In the year 1980, on Wednesday the 9th of July at exactly 11:54 p.m., a little girl named Jodi Ann Arias was born in the city of Salinas, California, and completely unbeknownst to her doting parents, was destined to become one of the most infamous people in the United States of America.
Okay, I gotta pee. Okay, I'll be back.
From what we know about her behavioral sequences, and despite what her defense team would later want you to believe, there's virtually nothing in Jodi's childhood that can be linked as a contributing factor to what she would eventually be capable of. The only thing worth mentioning was that she dropped out of high school in the 11th grade to pursue a career in photography, but it went nowhere, so she began working at a hotel restaurant which became her occupation for the next 8 years. In February of 2006, at 26 years of age, she began a new job as a salesperson for a network marketing company called Prepaid Legal, and it was through this occupation where she crossed paths with fellow sales representative Travis Alexander, a 28-year-old practicing Mormon from Arizona, who also worked part-time as a motivational speaker.
When you get someone to the briefing, they say no, that counts. When you get someone fully exposed and they say no, that counts. Every time you get one of those, cross one off the list. By the time the 100th one's crossed off the list, you won't be able to spend the money.
He was a very charismatic young man, which immediately caught Jodi's attention. They met at a business conference in September of 2006 and began a curious relationship from that point forward. To cut a long story short, Jodi was in love, and Travis was not. They broke up after just 5 months, but soon after the split, Jodi moved from her grandparents' home in Yreka, California, into an apartment just 2 blocks from Travis's house in Mesa, Arizona. She was at that moment labeled the crazy stalker ex by all of Travis's friends, and although Travis agreed, he would continue having sex with her out of pure convenience. She would show up unannounced on countless occasions, sometimes in the middle of the night, and Travis would let her in every time. It became somewhat of a routine, and a dysfunctional situation that neither were happy with. Travis, although he enjoyed the sex, essentially wanted her out of his life, while Jodi desperately wanted a serious relationship. And going off the myriad of entries in her diary, she firmly held on to the belief that they were meant to be together. In late May of 2008, however, she would ultimately have a change of heart. Travis had a work retreat planned to Cancun, Mexico for July 10th. It was all paid for by his employer and allowed him to take a friend with him. Jodi knew about this and believed, or at the very least hoped, that she would be the one going. Yet in the last week of May, it became known that Travis was taking another woman instead.
What the fuck?
A Mormon girl by the name of Mimi Hall, someone that Travis had been romantically interested in for some time.
God damn,
when Jodi
Travis!
found out, it would be safe to assume that she was heartbroken. It would be even safer to assume that she was absolutely enraged, and the collective opinion is that a specific thought process began to emerge in her mind, one that forged a psychological justification for a certain decision. On June 4th, 2008, 6 days before Travis was set to leave for Mexico, Jodi would once more show up unannounced. All we know for sure is that they had sex and took explicit pictures of each other using Travis's new camera. At roughly 5 p.m., Travis would get in the shower,
Thank you for the blood
and Jodi would
timestamp.
begin taking pictures of him using the same camera. Then, moments after this picture was taken, Jodi would stab Travis a total of 27 times.
What
She would
the
also cut
fuck?
his throat and shoot him in the face. During the
I
onslaught,
mean, it's censored, but still, goddamn, dude. Oh, blood is coming in here now
Travis's
anyway.
camera took 2 accidental photographs. The first was taken as Jodi dropped it during the onset of the attack. The second was
Oh, there is blood, yeah.
taken as she kicked it by mistake while moving Travis's body.
Oh
it
my
showed
God!
Jodi's foot and a fatally wounded or deceased Travis. The amount of time that passed from the 2 photographs was 62 seconds. Jodi then spent an estimated 45 minutes cleaning down the crime scene to make sure none of her DNA was left behind. This included wiping down the victim's body with a cup of water and a cloth. She also deleted the pictures from Travis.
Dude, can we watch this? I mean, it's like not... I did change the title, and there is trigger warning in the title already. Shut the fuck up. It's not like a lot of blood. I don't know. I don't want to risk it, though. Like, I don't... It's actually... It's not like... It's definitely... Honestly, be really, really careful with this video. The graphic photos were a major part of her trial.
Travis's camera before throwing it in the washing machine. She would then drive back out into the desert and leave Travis a voicemail for the purpose of placing herself away from the crime scene and giving herself an alibi.
I know Leslie called you, so I already talked to her, so you can call her back if you want, but it's not necessary. My phone died, so I wasn't getting back to anybody. And what else? Oh, and I drove 100 miles in the wrong direction, over 100 miles, thank you very much. So yeah, remember New Mexico.
Content that exclusively focuses on extreme or gratuitous gore and violence is prohibited? Yeah. But I don't know if I'll just hide the blood parts. It's not like anything bad, but
prevent me from going into the 3 digits, so fun. Tell you all about that later. Also, we were talking about, when we were talking about your upcoming travels my way, I was looking at the May calendar, so I'm all confused. But Heather and I are going to see Othello on July 1st, and we would love for you to accompany us. Let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. End of message.
Jodi would then drive to another man's house in Utah by the name of Ryan Burns and stayed the night. He would later testify that nothing seemed off about Jodi's behavior, only that they kissed and engaged in sexual intercourse. Travis's body was discovered by Mimi and her friends 5 days later, the day before they were supposed to leave to Cancun together.
How long were you there trying to get into the house?
Just, a couple of minutes. I banged on the door, rang the doorbell over and over again. Nobody answered. I was scared that something might be happening to him because I knew that he had a stalker. Travis's friend on the phone suggested that we go in through the garage and look for him in the house. And then as soon as they said that they saw blood, that there's blood everywhere, I stopped looking and said, he's dead, he's dead. And so immediately...
Bro, how do you fuck right after you murder? That's kind of wild. Like she had sex, murdered a dude, and then literally drove. She fucked, murdered, and then fucked again. She fucked before she did it too. I understand. Dude, it's crazy, dude. You're kink shaming? Yeah. What do you mean how? Murder gets your blood pumping and makes you horny as fuck? Why would you know that?
I called.
Maybe she listened to Murder on My Mind and got influenced to do a murder, because that's what happens when you listen to music. Sorry, I had to do a callback. At least one callback.
Police.
After the news of Travis's death broke the following day, Jodi called the police and offered to help with the investigation. She was then transferred to the lead detective, Esteban Flores, of the Mesa Police Department. The most notable detail of the phone call was that Jodi agreed to provide a sample of her DNA. Over the following month, forensics were able to uncover the deleted photos from Travis's camera, and despite her best efforts, discovered Jodi's DNA all over the crime.
I mean, this is not... Yeah, the stuff that's showing right now is not like... I think I can show this. It's not like... It's like a little bit of blood. It's not like fucking crazy amounts of blood.
Crime scene. During this time, oblivious to the evidence that was building against her, Jodi would post multiple pictures of her and Travis on Facebook, alongside emotional messages to Travis himself. She even sent his family flowers and a letter expressing her grief over his death. The Mesa Police Department launched their case against Jodi on July 15th, 41 days after the murder. Detective Flores would be the one to conduct her interrogation. He had spoken with her once over the phone and was present when she was fingerprinted and swabbed for DNA. The Siskiyou County Police arrested Jodi at her grandparents' house at 7:35 a.m. and only said they had a warrant for her arrest without giving further information. She was placed in handcuffs and didn't once ask what she was being arrested for in the 6-minute drive to the local police station. What makes Jodi Arias stand out among the many cases in the realm of true crime is the manner in which she attempts to navigate the system. She seems to believe that if she presents herself in a certain way and adopts a very specific character with very specific traits, it will give her the best chance at evading the consequences of her actions. In her mind, this character is a soft-spoken, sweet-natured, God-fearing individual.
Oh my
Yet
God.
to everyone else, is quite possibly the most universally annoying person to ever abide in the history of existence.
What the fuck? fucking got him, dude. I mean, the narrator did a murder too. Someone said, I have to read this. Sushi Sunday says, by sitting. This is it's another, I don't get it. It's bi people love claiming bi identifiers, like having a clear phone case, or what else is it? There's like a bunch of shit that bi people say are exclusive to or are like bi identifiers, okay? What else? Cuffed jeans, clear phone case. I guess what? Like eating hot chip, but that's like. If you don't get it, you're straight. All the bi signifiers are completely arbitrary and have nothing to do with anything. Okay, dude, why you gotta be so serious, dude? Like, obviously we're joking.
Can I get you just to have a seat here?
In the next
Bisexual
moment,
lighting.
Jodi will hear Detective Flores approaching the room. She will then abruptly place her head on the table to make it appear as if she's sleeping. She will now notice the detective has instead walked past the room and then revert back to her regular sitting position. For whatever reason, Jodi wants to appear as if she's in a far calmer state than she actually is. She wants the detective to believe that she's relaxed enough to doze off, when she is in fact extremely alert and anticipating his arrival.
Being attracted to Hasan, yes. That is actually a bi trait from what I've seen, both in men and women. I've definitely seen this.
She places her head back on the table to feign a placid state once more, and you'll notice her left shoulder hovers in what looks like a very uncomfortable position for just over a minute. She then hears the external door open, at which point she takes a deep breath and then fully rests onto the table.
Okay, let me get those off you. So you remember me?
Of course I do.
I traveled all the way up here to come talk to you. Because, I've been working on Travis's case ever since it happened. Okay, and I know exactly when it happened, when he was killed. I know a lot of details. And just recently we found quite a bit of evidence. And I'll discuss that with you. The main thing that I'm looking for, though, is answers on why certain things happened, why they went so far, and also to get your statements.
Okay.
She's been brought to a police station in handcuffs and now just told her arrest is concerning the death of her ex-lover. An innocent person sitting in her position would want immediate clarification as to what exactly is going on. Jodi doesn't inquire further, just gently accepts to cooperate after being given a very vague, yet highly accusive clarification of the situation.
A lot of details on this case that haven't been released to the public and not even to Travis's family. And those details are known only by us and the person who did it. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I'm here, is because I believe that you know some of these details.
Okay.
And I think you can help us.
I would love to help you in any way that I can.
Okay. Because we're here at the police department, the sheriff's department here in, was it Siskiyou County?
Siskiyou.
That's what it's called, okay. And you're considered under arrest or detained. You're not free to go. And I'm a police officer. I have to read you your rights. Okay, I'm sure you've heard them on TV. You know, I have to read them off this little card here, but they're pretty much the same, and I'll explain them to you as we go. Okay. And you know, if there's a question that you don't want to answer, you don't feel comfortable, you can say no. You know, or you know, you can elaborate as much as you want. It's completely up to you. It's at your speed. I don't want to pressure you.
Is this recorded at all, or should we?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a recording or something.
I don't know if these are voice recorders. I noticed them. I don't know if they have video or if they have audio or batteries or what.
I don't think they're on.
Hindsight allows us to recognize this is simply an attempt to appear innocent. She seems to think that if she appears confident enough to recommend the use of an outdated voice recorder, that it will seem as though she has nothing to hide in the eyes of the detective. But it's just bizarre. If the detective wasn't already certain of Jodi's guilt, he would most certainly become suspicious at this moment.
Sorry, really cold.
It's okay.
You still heat still?
Yeah, I haven't touched those or anything, but
Oh, okay.
Jodi's mind would be racing here, yet she desperately wants her exterior self to appear calm. She's so focused on having this nonchalant disposition that she completely fails to realize her behavior doesn't match the situation whatsoever. She's in a state of hyperarousal while feigning a state of composure, and the end result just looks very strange. It gives reason for her unusual infatuation with a voice recorder, and also for her oncoming sitting position, which really can't be described, only compared to a sea lion peeking over a rock.
and they're not on, so what I want to do is just get to the bottom of it. Everybody wants to know, okay? And you know, so I'm going to ask you some questions. You can voluntarily answer them if you want. Okay, is that cool?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fine.
There was some question about you being. Well, let's start with this. What have you been up to since Travis's death? What have you been doing?
Well, I've been working.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been really working in prepaid legal. There's not a whole lot here in this marketplace, which is...
It's kind of small here.
It's small here, and really that could be seen as an opportunity rather than a hindrance, because that just means the market is untapped in a large way. So I could have, if I wanted to, but I'm kind of like a deer in the headlights when it comes to prepaid legal. I just have a fear of just approaching people.
Mm-hmm.
You'll come to notice that Jodi will go off on these unrelated tangents anytime she has the slightest chance to do so. It's a recurring theme in interrogations for when the suspect is facing serious charges, and the common theory is that it's an attempt at gaining a momentary escape from what is likely the most terrifying moment of their life. Going into detail about topics completely unrelated to the situation at hand essentially delays the onset of their new reality. Forensic psychology views this as a form of denial, and also a subconscious coping mechanism. This particular tangent was about the local climate and multi-level marketing, but she'll also ramble about photography, religion, relationships, spirituality, household pets, her ex-boyfriends, road trips, hitchhiking, designer clothing, and computer virus software. The detective subtly nudges her away from the theme of network marketing and onto the topic of Travis. She starts off with a Facebook post she made in his memory.
I realized looking back on it that it kind of sounded immature. It's more like my dear Travis kind of letter. And so I took it down because...
More personal?
Yeah, some of it was details, a little bit more personal. Not too personal, nothing inappropriate. Just, I just felt funny. I think because I'm a photographer, I tend to communicate more through pictures, so I posted a ton of pictures that I had of him, and I have a ton more that I just can't access right now, and videos and things that I know his family would want, but
She then explains how it's hard to talk about Travis's death with the guy she's now dating.
and we've been talking a lot, and we try not to talk about that because it's kind of like, ugh. And plus Travis is my ex-boyfriend, but at the same time he's my friend, so while I'm mourning my friend, how do you talk to your new potential possible maybe person that you might start dating about your friend even though he was your ex-boyfriend? So it's kind of a gray area.
The detective knows she'll happily trail off until the morning comes, so he cuts her off and locks her into the situation at hand.
And I've talked to a lot of people, and
Jesus Christ.
everybody's pointing a finger at you. You know,
I don't even know where to begin. I don't know to talk about the arousal, or I don't know if I should talk about her trailing off, or she is just like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The moment that someone starts talking about antiviruses in the middle of a fucking conversation like this, you just, you know, when you're under the suspicion that you might have murdered your boyfriend, it's like, it's a wrap. It's GG's.
Everybody is saying, I don't understand what happened to Travis. I don't know who killed him. But you need to look at Jodi. And sometimes the simplest answers are the correct ones.
One of the most fascinating parts of this interrogation is how long the detective allows Jodi to cling on to hope. For the first 45 minutes, she will be terrified, yet still believe there's a chance she will be going home at the end of it. The detective will hint at her suspicions and culpability in a gradual manner, yet not directly accuse her until a much later stage. Dangling the idea of hope above someone's head while simultaneously hinting at the grim future that awaits them would perhaps be considered cruel in most other circumstances. Yet on this occasion, it is tolerated for a tactical purpose, which is to allow for as much divulgence from the suspect as possible. Her fear will cause her to panic, not enough to the point where she completely locks up, but just enough so that she continuously tries to claw at her own salvation, and in the process will divulge information that will be extremely damaging to her defense later on.
And that's one of the reasons I started looking at you a little bit closer. And over the last month or so, I've gotten into Travis's life, talked to all his friends, his family. I got a really good understanding of who he is now. And I got a very good understanding of your relationship with him. Obviously you weren't boyfriend and girlfriend anymore, but you were still having a sexual relationship, which,
Does his family know about that? Just curious.
No, his family doesn't know anything. Yeah.
I'm interested in protecting how he's remembered as well. And
just for the purpose of integrated context, at Jodi's trial, she would label Travis a sexual deviant, a domestic abuser, and a pedophile.
He truly had feelings for you. And for some reason, he felt that the relationship between you and him was somewhat unhealthy, but he couldn't stop it. And I assume that's probably maybe the same way you felt about him, or maybe you didn't understand why he didn't believe it was healthy.
No, I didn't think it was healthy either, spiritually at least, and probably emotionally, but mostly spiritually. And I think that kind of, once you have something that's not healthy spiritually, it filters through all aspects of your life.
Her dialogue alters from spirituality to her work history and then to her finances before moving on to her family. Bear in mind she wasn't asked about any of this.
Financially, I wasn't doing well. I missed my family. I moved away shortly after high school, and I come back to visit, but I realized over the years I'd missed out on a lot of things with my little brother and sister. I missed out on just their karate or their baseball or cheerleading or...
The detective nudges her back to the subject of Travis once more. He asks if the sexual element combined with his religion was the reason the relationship didn't work. Jodi then takes it upon herself to recount her sex life history and simultaneously preach about her own devotion to the Bible.
I've had a couple of serious relationships before where I was intimate with a few people, and it's kind of silly, but I used to always joke that regardless of what the Bible says, and yes, I'm Christian, I just live my life by the 10 Commandments, and those are my rules. You know, thou shalt not this or that, but it doesn't say thou shalt not fornicate. So I just used to joke about that. We did pray about it. I remember we knelt by his bed once, and surprisingly, he suggested it. Normally, you know, I would suggest that we pray before we go on a trip or before we eat if we're alone.
It was kind of unusual for him, huh?
Yeah, because he was very resistant to prayer. He's like, so I'd say, will you say a prayer? He's like, why don't you say a prayer? Why don't you say a prayer? Why don't you say a prayer? So we'd go back and forth. Jodi, will you say a prayer? And I said, sure. And Travis was like...
The detective endures as much prayer talk as humanly possible before shifting the topic once more.
He was at a point in his life where he wanted to really start settling down. He felt like he needed to kind of grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, become a husband, become a father. Did you guys ever discuss possibly getting married or anything?
When we were dating, we did.
Okay.
Once we broke up, he brought it up. He actually proposed to me. a lot of times, but he wasn't serious.
Let's move to after the breakup.
Oh, okay.
What kept you in Mesa at that point?
I actually moved to Mesa a few weeks after we broke up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a time period you really wasn't seeing anybody, and then Mimi came into the picture. What did you think about her? And
I didn't know a lot about her. She seems like a really nice girl. He showed me her picture on Facebook. You know, I don't think she had a lot of pictures on there. He said that he's not sure why, but he's pretty sure that she could be it. And I was happy for him. I didn't find out about Lisa.
This conversation you had face to face with him?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, it was in his room. And he had his laptop, you know, just on his bed.
Jodi is desperately trying to make it appear as though her and Travis were on good terms. But this is just overkill. Jodi was labeled the crazy stalker ex by all of Travis's friends, and even Travis himself. The idea that he would show and then discuss any potential future romances with Jodi is ridiculous.
And I truly believe he does love her still.
Oh, he does.
Travis had a, he's what you call a player. You know what that means? Yeah. He kind of pulls girls in.
Anybody, though.
He was reluctant to make a commitment first off. And truly, he didn't think that you were marriage material. And I don't know why not. I mean, I see you. You're a wonderful girl. You're struggling. You're trying to make your way through life, and I don't see why you guys couldn't have made it.
I think we have very different philosophies on a lot of ways. We would argue about the dumbest things, and like there was so many times where I just couldn't wrap my mind around what he would. I could, but I would try to get him to do the same for me. Like there was a time when I broke down on the way to LA once, and my car got a flat tire, so I had at the time roadside assistance because my car was still under warranty. And they went to take the car in to change the tire and realized that when they sold me the car, they didn't give me the wheel lock key.
What is this? What is the technique being applied by the detective here? Like, just listening to her endlessly fucking go on just because she's hot? Like, what's the detective technique here? Is it called just simping for the hot murderer? Like, this technique used by the detective is called let her ramble on for, 7.5 hours. Chat's taking notes on baiting. Oh, I forgot. The actual other technique being applied here is the top of the hour technique, where streamer is cooking curry chicken in the background. Okay, because his mom won't. So he has to make his own curry chicken in the background while watching the video on his phone, and then coming over to run a 60-second ad break at the top of the hour. Now, this technique can be avoided. Okay? And that's called subscribing with a Twitch Prime. If you use the... Bro, you're literally 34? No, I'm not 34. Fuck you. It's called subscribing with a Twitch Prime for free. By that way, with that technique, you can avoid the ads. So there is that. And yes, my mom is not cooking my chicken tendies tonight, and I am upset about it. Okay, shut up. Here is the ad break now. Fuck you.
I was kind of hungry. It was dinner time. It was 7:38, and it was dark because it was January. And the tow truck guy said, there's a Denny's 2 blocks down here, and there's a Jack in the Box there, and he was driving me to the motel. I said, is there an IHOP around? Because I really like IHOP. He's like, yeah, but it's kind of like 5 miles back in the other direction. I was like, okay. He's like, I can drive you there if you want. And I was like, he's like this short Mexican guy, and he seemed really harmless. And I was like, okay. And he, and I asked him about his life, and he had a wife and kids, and so he wasn't flirting.
The travels of Jodi and the sweet Mexican continues on for another 2 minutes. The detective then brings Jodi's attention to what he already believes was the trigger motive for the murder.
So, moving over to his trip to Cancun that he was going to. When did you first find out about that he was going with Mimi?
Oh, I found out about that at his memorial services on Monday. It was the Monday night memorial service.
Okay. You didn't know he was taking Mimi?
I didn't know that. I think that's awesome, actually.
Right.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Mimi had called him a week or two before, and I told him, look, if you want to take somebody else, it's fine, but I have something to tell you. I don't look at you that way. I don't look at you as a boyfriend. If you want to be friends, we can be friends.
The detective essentially stated that Travis was friend-zoned by Mimi, but he still invited her instead of Jodi anyway.
What kept you to him? I don't understand.
Well, moving is expensive, for one. So once I was there, I was kind of stuck there.
But why do you continue to go back to him? You know what he wants. You know that it's not healthy. But yet you continue to go back. And it brings us to this point where we are now.
Part of my perspective now has to do with the fact that I'm going through a repentance process that I've worked out with, with my bishop, and he's given me, certain scriptures to read and ponder and pray about. And
Preacher Jodi emerges for another 2 minutes, going into detail about scriptures and baptisms. The detective then interjects and starts getting more confrontational with the facts about Jodi's behavior towards Travis.
And obviously you guys kept this relationship hidden from everybody else, and because nobody really knew about it.
well,
There were some people who I talked to and said, yeah, they continued to have a relationship even after they broke up. And there are others who were saying that you had become obsessive with him to the point to where you would go into his house when he wasn't there or when you weren't invited, and he would talk to people saying, she just kind of showed up, and I don't want to tell her to leave, but I don't want her here.
oh, must have been early on,
Yeah.
because there were a couple times when we established a rule early on, just don't come over unless, he said, you can come over anytime, but I need to know first.
The detective then starts ramping up.
Bro, that is... oh, brother. I just want to say, be careful who you have sexual intercourse with, okay? Also, Travis is a piece of shit that played with his girl's emotions until she snapped. She wouldn't have murdered, obviously, but she pushed past the breaking point. What? What? No shot did someone just say that in the chat. Dude, get the fuck out, dude. Chat's back to using the defending the murderer technique to stun lock the fucking streamer technique. Chat only defends women murderers. I wonder why. I don't know if it's because they're like over. I don't know if it's because they're like overcorrective, hyper woke people, or if they're just literally like simps. I don't know which one it is.
Up the pressure and brings Jodi's alibi and road trip into the discussion.
Was it the week of the first week of June? You took a trip to Salt Lake City. Which route did you take from there?
I was supposed to get on the 15 and go all the way up. And I somehow got off the 15.
Where did you end up?
For a while I was lost, and I'm not above sleeping in the car, so I slept for a while.
Okay.
I don't know, having sex with her that much and then inviting the other girl is kind of abusive, not gonna lie. Bro, they weren't fucking dating. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's because this community is so roomy, Hasan. The men can be fucking vile in here. That's literally why. What the fuck? Also, no matter what happens, like... Okay, guys, remember how I said that, like, not everything is fucking abuse? Having casual sex with someone is not fucking abuse. Jesus Christ. And abuse inherently does not mean, like, a justification for murder regardless. What are you doing, dude?
I'm a heavy sleeper and I sleep a lot, so.
But you were on the 15 for a while, and you ended up getting off the 15 somewhere.
Yeah, I looked at a map, but I'm pretty sure I know where I went. Can I draw you a map?
Sure. So this trip took you a little over 48 hours then. I have a problem with this trip.
Well, I went first too.
Yeah, I know. I know you went down here. I've gone over this trip over and over in my mind and on paper.
He knew she was a stalker. He should have stopped fucking her. Wow, dude. Wow, literally, just say he deserved to be murdered. Mad because you like to lead girls on? Oh my God, dude. Are you fucking insane, dude? What the fuck? Bro, there are some real psychos in here, dude. There are some real sick fucks in here, dude. Seriously.
And even if there's still 20 some odd hours, even if you pulled over to sleep a couple of times.
Oh, did I tell you that I got stranded?
Yeah,
Okay.
you mentioned that. If you slept for 10 hours
I only slept for about
here
8
and
hours.
here, it would still leave 18 some odd hours for something else. Okay, this is what people are focusing on, is this trip that you took, because they're saying she left, she didn't get to till Thursday. Wednesday? That's when Travis was killed.
It actually, honestly, it makes me happy that, like, to know that, like, most community members who say shit like that are never gonna get laid. So it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, because you are a danger to society. Like, if that's your take, honestly. Like,
I did not go near his house. Aren't there?
I pulled your cell records. Your cell phone was turned off between here and here.
Well, I didn't turn it off physically, but it died.
And then magically you found your charger here?
It was packed under the seat of the passenger side, and it was when I was.
When you were lost, you couldn't have maybe pulled over and found it, or?
Well, I did finally start looking when I was stranded. I wouldn't have pulled over when I was lost.
Detective Flores explains to Jodi multiple times over how the trip doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and whether it's feigned naivety or that she literally doesn't understand the concept of time and distance, she pretends to be confused.
for the record, people who are saying, how are you gonna keep fucking a girl that you told all your friends was a psycho over and over again after you knew, is the exact same argument that, like, people retort to women with when they say, like, why did you keep dating your fucking abuser after you knew that they were abusive? I'm just letting you know that you are literally doing that, except in the emotional or physical abusive domestic relationship, like, it didn't end in a murder, whereas in this one it did. So it's even worse than that. I'm just letting you know that, like, this is a situation that is worse than the other situation that everyone understands and has established is, like, fucked up.
by the allegation rather than actually confront it. This goes on for 3 minutes before the detective confronts Jodi with the evidence of the photographs on Travis's camera.
But I don't think you're being completely honest with me about that trip.
I honestly got lost. It's bad timing.
Were you at Travis's house on Wednesday?
Absolutely not. I was nowhere near Mesa.
What are you talking about? Women get murdered over that almost every day. Hey, asshole. How do you not understand that that's unjustifiable? Whereas they're only one person in one instance is being justified here. That's literally my point.
I wasn't even close to him.
What if I could show you proof you were there? Will that change your mind?
I wasn't there.
You can be honest with me, Jodi.
I was not at Travis's house. Was not.
You were at Travis's house. You guys had a sexual encounter, which there's pictures. And I know you know there's pictures because I have them. I will show them to you.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Okay.
Dude.
So, what I'm asking you is for you to be honest with me. I know you were there.
Are you sure those pictures aren't from another time?
Positive. Remember I told you about the camera?
Mm-hmm.
The card's intact. Remember I told you that card was destroyed? I didn't want to tell you the truth. And I have pictures of you in Travis's bedroom with Travis, pictures of him, and it's obvious you guys are having sex, taking photos of each other, and they're dated and time-stamped on the day he died.
Are you sure it's me? I mean, that because I was
Jodi,
not there.
It's you. And you know it's you.
I mean, literally caught in 4K. Like, actually caught in 4K. Maybe 8K. I don't know how many Ks there are in here, but being murdered doesn't make your past actions that led to the horrible event automatically ethically good and justifiable and can't be questioned. No, you're correct. Except, you know, having sex casually with someone is not fucking abuse when the other person is consenting to doing so. You fucking freak. You absolute psycho. That's wild, dude. Yo, people are actually fucking dumb, dude. Not just consenting, initiating. Oh, fuck, dude. Shit, dude. I didn't realize, like, having a fuck buddy means that, like, that could have led to him being murdered. Fuck, dude. Bro, you guys are, oh my God. Some of you literally, again, like I said. The JCS has been even better because of this chat. I just like, I really did not think that this community would have so many fucking psychotic takes. Like,
I know all the details of this case. The only thing I don't know is why. Why did you choose to go visit Travis that day? And why did you do what you did?
I would never
Why,
hurt
Jodi?
Travis.
You did. You hurt him.
I like how you use your platform to undermine people. Dude, learn how to spell, you fucking idiot. Undermined. Learn what words are if you're going to use them, okay? With your $2 words.
That's why we're here. That's
I
why
said
I flew up
undermined.
here.
There's
'Cause I
an
needed
E in
to
the end
talk
of
to you
that.
about this. I can just arrest you and throw you in jail, but I want to know why. Why did you do this to him?
I wouldn't hurt Travis. He's done so much for me.
I know you took pictures of him in the shower just before he died.
I don't think he would allow that.
Mm-hmm. And the camera actually took a couple of photos by accident during the time that he was being killed.
Really?
Yeah, Jodi, really. You were there. Quit playing this game. It's time for you to just come out and
I didn't
tell
know.
me.
I did not hurt Travis.
Dude, we've gotten so used to, like, good detectives that like when one of them is bad, it's so obvious. Like this guy sucks. And one thing I realized is that in a lot of instances, if someone is like caught dead to rights, like caught in 4K, whatever, the detectives really fuck it up, dude. Like he's just like, come on, just submit it. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? This guy's good. I mean, I don't think so. I think he's just like, he keeps saying like, come on, come on, come on. That detective's son literally died the week of the trial and he still went. Holy shit, that's crazy. I think he's being too direct. Yes, that's hindsight bias, maybe. This is a method called hindsight bias. I feel like he just comes across more desperate before building her up and then shooting her down. You know what I mean? Like we've seen so many people literally play like mind games and like actually have all of this information, and yet no, I'm serious. I feel like when there's more information, I feel like detectives don't like operate as carefully as they would with like when there's less information. You see interrogators like literally go through the process and like allow them to feel comfortable and then strike while the iron's hot, catch him in a fucking lie. Like this dude literally is just like, come on, just admit it. I caught you. I caught you. I caught you.
I did not hurt Travis. I wouldn't do that to him.
The detective then goes on to explain the DNA evidence collected at the crime scene, which includes Jodi's blood mixed with Travis's blood, Jodi's hair, and Jodi's bloody palm print.
You either had blood on your hand and you touched the wall, or there was blood on the wall and you touched the blood.
It said, what timestamp is it at? What is it, 37:55? Okay.
Could my palm print have already been there and then blood touched it?
Jodi, this is over. This is absolutely over. You need to tell me the truth.
Listen, the truth is I did not hurt Travis.
If you want, I can show you some pictures of him. Do you want to see pictures of him?
You're gonna say yes. That's psychopathic.
Part of me does and part of me doesn't.
That's real psychopathic behavior. That's real psychopathic behavior. A normal person would never be like, yeah, show me my fucking murdered boyfriend, dude. No, that's like, I've seen enough fucking criminal movies to know that like psychos love fucking seeing their victims again. Like, it's like hot for them. You know what I mean? Also, this dude is literally fucking, like, oh, you want to see? You want to see what you did? Like, come on, bro. Chill the fuck out. He's trying to get a confession. He's being bad. Her little girl voice is aggravating. I know how violent and deranged she is. Yeah.
No,
Jodi.
There's a morbid curiosity.
Jodi.
I wanted to know how he died.
We can keep playing these games over and over again. I'm not going to believe you. It's over.
Could it have been my blood from before?
Your image is not important right now. Saving the rest of your life is.
Listen, if I'm found guilty, I don't have a life. I'm not guilty. I didn't hurt Travis. If I hurt Travis, if I killed Travis, I would beg for the death penalty. It just seems so impossible. I'd want to see it. I'd want to know. I mean, I'm not a murderer, but I guess if I were to do that, I would wear gloves or, you know, something. Okay, let's say for a second that I did. And I say...
Isn't this verbatim OJ? Like, she's literally going with the if I did it shit.
I did it. I mean...
The motive is there. The jealousy issue.
But I wouldn't even say it was jealous. I mean, there may have been some jealousy there, but
then what is it? What caused this?
I think if anyone, maybe Travis was jealous, but
that's not what everybody else says. I can prove you were there. I can prove it. But what I don't have is I don't have answers on why it happened. Or, you know, maybe something just got out of hand. Maybe
He's not doing how and why. He didn't even like instill confidence in her. He's not doing a good job. I'm sorry. He has her dead to rights, and that's precisely why they're not being clever with the fucking interrogation in this one. Backseat detective? I'm just saying, dude. Motherfuckers act like we didn't watch Casey Anthony walk last night. Like, he's not applying any of the techniques, dude. Bro, you watched 4 videos, now you're an expert? Yes, I am literally the embodiment of Twitch chat, okay? Someone who grossly overestimates their intelligence because they watched 3 YouTube videos. Okay? I am you. I am you.
maybe things got out of hand.
Did you find the gun? Maybe that would...
Jodi, we're just playing games here. I'm gonna take a little break, but I need you to think about what you're doing here. Because the best thing for you to do is to tell me the truth. It's so important that you tell me.
He just let her ramble on and now is like, come on, admit it. We caught you.
Why this occurred, what was going through your mind, and what caused you to do this. I'll let you think about that. Okay? And I'm gonna go looking for some pictures, and I'll bring them over, and we'll continue this discussion. Okay? Let me go find them. I'll be right back.
Tips, I'm not a murderer.
Oh, pictures are coming up. Yeah, not yet though. Not yet. Right? He's gonna bring the photos now at like 37:30. Stop! Stop!
What kind of gun is that? Just curious.
It's a Glock.
I just bought a gun.
Did you? You probably found it by now.
Probably. I was taking it somewhere.
These are just a few photos.
Oh god! Dude, oh my god, that was bi-stretching right there.
And I want to be careful not showing you certain photos
Please
because
don't
some
show
of
me.
them are very bad.
If Travis were here today, he would tell you that it wasn't me.
No.
I'm like worried, dude. I'm worried,
My
I'm
job
worried.
is to speak for Travis right now. And everything Travis is telling me is that Jodi did this to me.
Come on, tell me that that's good. Tell me that that's good detective work, by the way. Okay, this is one photo, but it's not like a bad one. Stop saying she's 100% guilty. It literally does not matter. It literally does not matter. It literally does not matter. Okay? It does not matter. We have actually seen being 100% guilty, like dead to fucking rights, is completely irrelevant. Casey Anthony walked, dude. That stretch is why he kept having sex with her. Oh god, stop. Okay. He does look kind of scared in this photo.
Remember him?
Remember him? Come
Is he
on.
naked? In the shower?
Yep.
Jodi is then shown one of the pictures that was taken by accident while she was in the process of murdering Travis.
It's your foot, Jodi. Those are your pants. No, it's off color because we had to enhance it and the color kind of changes a little bit. It's Travis.
The pictures aren't even that bloody. I just don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it.
This is his bathroom. That is not my foot.
Couldn't even recognize Travis. He'd been there so long. Do you have any recent cuts that are healing?
Well, my cat scratches me. Little things. These are all her work.
Is there more, Chad? Is there
This
more?
her. That's her. I've got scars. She's a feral cat. All these little things are her.
Well, enough about your cat, but there's no doubt in my mind that you were there. There's no doubt in my mind that you did this. None. So you can go until you're blue in the face and tell me you weren't there and you had nothing to do with it.
134, 205,
I don't know
210.
why.
For real?
It's killing me inside. I
That's
don't know
the
why.
thing. Like, there's no reason for it. There's no reason why. There's no reason I would ever want to hurt him.
And I have a solid case against you. And I can present it to the judge. As cold as it is now. I don't know why she did it. Or I can present it to the judge with your explanation.
If I'm found
That's not
guilty, what
true.
happens?
What do you mean? You go to jail.
Price.
Well, what's the price?
I don't know.
Don't you know what the sentences are? The sentences that are carried for something.
It depends on your situation.
Bro, she's literally doing RP. Like, this is GTA RP shit, dude. Hey, if I'm guilty, like, what's up? What is she, like, doing a fucking plea bargaining agreement? Like, what's happening, dude?
How old you are.
It's like, come on, come on.
Depends on the
You're
type
stalling.
Of crime. It depends on whether you show remorse or not. And part of that remorse is at least coming clean. When somebody doesn't come clean, I don't see any remorse. I know you're afraid. But you're already going through it right now. There's no backing up. There's no backing up to yesterday. There's no backing up to that day. It already happened. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to face the consequences.
You know, if I did that, I'd be fully ready to face the consequences. I'm not really for things like, you know, I'm all for the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I just can't. I didn't kill Travis. I just didn't.
Everybody knows murder is immoral in Christianity. Duh. That's a foolproof method. I don't know why they didn't just let her go, dude. Also, what I find additionally strange about this entire thing is, like, what Christian brings up the 10 Commandments? It's like something you say if you're lying on the spot about being Christian. You know what I mean? It's like when Donald Trump says, like, I love the Bible, and they're like, oh, which one? He's like, all of it. All of the verses, all of them, they're my favorite, believe me. Like, oh, wow, I didn't realize, like, my cat murdered him and I'm religious. This is a whole interview is really awkward. Old Testes. He's Mormon, not Christian. No, he's Mormon, and Mormon is still Christianity. Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's just an extension of Christianity. And I don't think she's is she Mormon too?
I did not take his life.
You need to come out and tell me why this happened. I will not accept any other excuses. I will just move on with my investigation, with my final report, submitting all the conclusions and all the evidence. And we can just let that judge and the jury decide. We can leave it in the
What
hands
about
of
the
a
lie
jury.
detector test?
We can do that, that's fine.
Would that help me at all?
I mean, you can't use them in court, but
Well, then there's no point in taking it.
took a knife to him.
It's like saying Islam is an extension of Judaism.
stop.
Islam is an extension of Judaism. It's an improvement of
Couldn't
all
stop.
of the other, in the eyes of Muslims.
I mean,
Islam is the most improved, updated version of all Abrahamic religions. So yes, Muslims wouldn't even get mad at that. They would literally say that, yeah, no, it's true.
Before you knew it, it was all over, and then you panicked.
I've never been that angry at him. Not enough for that. I've been so far angrier at other people, at other ex-boyfriends.
Then tell me who could have done this. Who did this?
I don't know, but if I go to trial for this, and if I'm convicted for this, whoever did this is going to be sitting very pretty somewhere. Glad that it wasn't them.
And it's my job to make sure that an innocent person does not go to jail. But I don't see an innocent person sitting in front of me.
Travis,
bro, like, ask her what she thinks happened or something, dude. It's like, dude, we have your photo. You fucking foolishly took photos on your fucking camera, and then on accident didn't even look through the photos. On accident, like, literally took a photo of the murder. Like, what do you think happened? Like, how would you describe this if you were in my shoes? I just want to know, like, I just want to know what, like, just have fun with it at this point, you know?
A lot for me, and I wouldn't hurt him. He introduced the gospel to me.
Why is everybody saying that you are capable of hurting him? Everybody says it.
I don't know why anyone.
So don't tell me that
He's just like, he's like gossiping about her fucking friends and shit. Everybody says you're capable of murder.
I don't remember spiders. Oh, I kicked a dog once. I was a freshman in high school, and I love animals. And we had this dog, his name was Doggy Boy. And
what is this fucking
until the dog that they have now, have never been able to, and I don't mean just them, we as a family have never been able to care for a dog properly as far as give it attention and take it for walks and be consistent.
To save you the oncoming ramble about Doggy Boy the dog, she lightly tapped him with her foot for tearing open the trash, and she's felt so bad ever since that it changed her entire worldview on the animal kingdom. She now apologizes to the dog, through the detective, who's conducting her interrogation for first-degree murder.
And I need to apologize for that to him. I know it sounds weird, my relationship with animals. It's kind of like they're like people too, you know, they have souls.
What you need to do is you need to apologize to Travis. But you just refuse.
Listen.
Yeah, I can't help you anymore if you're not gonna.
Is the detective like in the chat or something? Why are chatters defending this guy who literally said, come on, you should apologize to Travis? Wow, what kind of detective, what technique is that one, chatters? That's called the gotcha technique, okay? Where, you know, if she says like, I am sorry for Travis, he's like, ha ha! You know what I mean?
If you're not gonna help yourself,
You asked
I
me
really
prior.
can't. I can't, Jodi.
It's fascinating to observe how fast she can switch from one emotion to the next once she realizes a particular strategy hasn't worked. The attempt at elevating her character by expressing how much she cares for spiders and pets hasn't seemed to have any effect on the detective, so she then switches her disposition from sorrowful to analytical, as she once more tries to manipulate his perception of her.
If I did anything that had anything to do with his death in any way,
It's not if to me.
I wouldn't.
It's not if. It's not if at all.
Well, to me it is. I would be more than remorseful.
Is it maybe something you're blocking out of your head?
I don't think so. I mean, I tend to write everything down. I just finished the book, The Road Less Traveled.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the true definition of sanity is dedication to reality at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is definitely reality. We are.
Bro, she is like, she literally is committing a double homicide here because she's gonna cause the fucking detective to murder himself, okay? What is this Yo, how people really do say anything and people just listen, dude. I swear to God. Why do we think we listen to you? Okay, bro, she's like Robert Frost wrote. Robert Frost once wrote a wonderful book. Or is that even Robert Frost? Like, I mean, The Road Less Traveled is a poem by Robert Frost, but I don't know if there's like a book too. Is it not? She says she read a fucking book, so. Or, oh, is The Road Not Taken? Yeah. Is she talking about a different book? I don't fucking know. You legit call every woman on the show hot? Calm down. I've literally never called any of the women hot except for her.
We are sitting here inside of an office, the sheriff's department, and you are facing first-degree murder charges.
No, I didn't say Casey Anthony was hot.
Going to be booked into jail.
No, she's not even hot. She's just...
You will be brought back to Arizona, and you will stand trial. That's the reality. And once you realize that, I think you'll be better for it.
I've had worse issues with other people. They're all still alive. I'm still friends with my ex-boyfriends. They're all still alive.
I said she was attractive, like an attractive white lady.
And there's one thing that I can never get out of my head. Ever since the first day I talked to you.
Like,
there's
big difference? Yes, attractive is like more of an analytical term. When I say someone is an attractive white lady, I don't mean like, oh, she's fuckable or I want to fuck her. I mean like, she is objectively aesthetically pleasing to a maximal amount of people. Do you understand? Like, that's what I mean when I say attractive. Do you not see the difference there? And I was saying that when I was talking about her situation, like, and why she was getting away with it. And I also mentioned it. Yes, thank you, Dizzy Rivers. I said it from the perspective of the cops.
All saying that, you know, someone's just not acting right. Look into it. You have not acted right from day one. You're just not acting right, Jodi. You're acting like somebody who's guilty.
How so?
You tell me. I know because I've been doing it a long time. It's
not
taken me a
that I
long
don't-
time to figure it out. But within the first 30 seconds to a minute of a conversation, I know when somebody's acting right. There's a certain way people act.
How did I act
Okay,
that would
it's not
make
like-
you think?
It's not like TV. It's not anything like that. It's not
That's
what you
terrible.
see in movies.
Is it because I'm not crying?
No. It's not because of that.
What is it? I mean, I'm not going to change how I act.
He literally sounds like he's trying to flirt with her too. Like he's like, yeah, I'm pretty smart. I'm kind of like Sherlock Holmes. You know? There's a way that ladies be acting. And I know. I'm pretty smart myself, so.
No, obviously you can't change the way you're
No,
acting.
I mean, I am who I am.
Okay, you're sincere in the way you're acting. But
Well, how is
you're just not telling the truth.
How is it different?
Well, it's not really something you need to focus on anymore.
After Jodi failed her attempts to extract inside knowledge on the best way to behave in order to appear innocent, she then attempts to explain why she hasn't been able to appear innocent.
It's not that I'm not remorseful that he died. The reason I hesitate is because maybe this is something that's wrong with me psychologically, is I think of the butterfly effect. And it's like, you could say that the guy pumping gas down at the gas station could have potentially, because you see all these movies, these funky movies where it's like this affected this, which affected this, which affected this, if he had never done this.
I know if you had never met him, he'd probably still be alive.
Okay, no matter what happens, the fact that this detective hasn't taken out his fucking revolver and shot her point blank at this point means that he at least while a shitty investigator, has a lot of restraint. Because, oh my God, dude. It's literally a fucking me or you situation at this point. Like, she is going to murder him by boring him to death by mentioning the most unrelated shit I have ever fucking seen. Like, well, you know, the butterfly effect.
That's true.
Yeah, that's because you killed him.
No, I just can't admit to something that I didn't do. If it would help my case and give me an easier sentence, I know that people plead guilty for those things.
No, and I don't want you to do that. That is the absolute last thing I want.
I wish that I had answers. I'm sorry. There's just no reason. There's just no reason.
There's no good reason why this happened. There's never a good reason why somebody dies like this.
This seems to be the moment Jodi fully confronts the reality of her situation. The anguish she has over her own fate will become visible, yet she will now disguise this anguish as grief over Travis's death. She does this by posing a question.
How many times was Travis stabbed?
More than I want to remember.
Bro, this is the worst detective I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. More than I want to remember. Like, you're...
I think you're feeling the reality in the moment now.
This is embarrassing, bro.
Travis's family is gonna miss out on the Travis. There's just no reason I would ever want to hurt him.
All I know is that I need a story or else it's just cold. It's so cold. But without the truth, I can't paint another picture. And it's going to be up to the prosecutor to paint that picture. And if you want that prosecutor, and I've met him, and you don't want him.
Hassan, 5 hours experience, detective, question marks, hours of experience? Yeah, I could do a better job. I've already learned. Everything I need to know about being a detective, okay? It's over. What, dude? Always blame the black person. There you go. Boom. Promote me right now, dude. That's it. Boom. Fucking immediately. Police chief. That's how it goes. You're hired. Exactly.
Him painting that picture.
Dream Stands would cancel you over that one? Yeah, I know. Streamer blames black guy. Instantly gets promoted.
I have to maintain my innocence. I can't admit to doing something that I haven't done. There's just no
Well, I
reason.
have more work to do.
Can you give me a rundown of what's going to happen from here when you leave?
Yeah, you're,
Like, just today, for example.
Good to see black suffering is a joke. Oh, these are the fucking weirdo newbies, dude. Name 3 black people you talk to regularly. Stonelock is over, Cap. Skip the N-word tweet, Pepela. Oh my god, dude. Dude, yes, we're racist, dude. Get out of here. Get out of this racist community. Okay, there you go. I saved you. Motherfucker said name 3 black people, bro. Oh, you say, oh, you say you're anti-racist? Name all the black people, dude. Name every black
be
person.
Taken across the street to the county jail. You'll be processed through there.
This is a really trivial question, and it's gonna reveal how shallow I am. But before they book me, can I clean myself up a little bit?
You're gonna be taken the way you are. I can't give you anything else.
do I have to go in handcuffs everywhere? That's just procedure.
Whether you wrote a bad check or you're facing murder charges, you're gonna go in handcuffs.
Dude, they're fucking back and forth is like triggering me. Okay, I'm telling you, I see like the vibes are fucked in this one. Haha, whether you're handcuffed or whether you wrote a bad check or you murdered someone, you're gonna get handcuffed. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what's going on? Are you guys gonna fuck later? Like, what are you? Why are you trying to establish chemistry with the fucking murderer after failing to get her to, you know, admit that she did a murder for like 2.5 hours? He's acting like he's the main character in this movie, bro. Yeah, straight up.
Should have at least done your makeup, Jodi. Gosh. I didn't hear you breathe. I wonder how am I still.
What the fuck? Does she not know there's a camera in there?
I can't breathe. I didn't hear you breathe.
What is she doing?
Goodness. He knows our need.
Stop simping! Stop! Where is it? She's so interesting. No, dude. She's fucking crazy. God damn it, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Still beating.
By women
Jodi was
behavior.
then taken to the county jail and charged with the murder of Travis Alexander. She stayed there overnight, and it would be a total of 16 hours before she was taken back to the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office. Her second interrogation commenced at approximately 9:30 a.m.
Just remember.
Bro, she's still singing, dude. I love that chat's acting like, oh, she's such a small bean, you know? She's such a, what do you call it? Like, small bean by queen, dude. I forget what I was going to say. God damn it, dude. A sussy baka. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You're acting like she's a fucking manic pixie dream girl, dude. You're literally acting like she's a manic pixie dream girl. Like, this is Zoe Deschanel. She's so quirky. She's so quirky. Man hates to see a girl boss winning. Yeah, you know what else I fucking hate to see? When I run an ad break and you don't get to avoid it, okay? Because it's top of the fucking hour, all right? And that means it's time for a 60-second ad break. And if you want to avoid these ads, dude, then all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or you can subscribe for fucking free with a Twitch Prime, dude. All right? Yeah, you got played, bitch. You got played. You got fucking played. I'm a smooth criminal, dude. If she had bangs, you'd literally be simping too. Probably. But she doesn't. So it doesn't matter. What does matter is Twitch Prime is free. And you can use it on your favorite content creator. Here's the ad break now. Okay. Let's keep going. Wahoo Warrior, thank you for the 2 gifted subs.
All right.
you want to go ahead and stand up for me? As I take these cuffs off, just go ahead and put your hands down at the waist, okay?
The game plan for this second interrogation will be a lot more strategic. Investigators will have studied the footage the day prior and will now have a greater understanding of Jodi's personality. The initial tactic is for Detective Blaney to criticize and berate the suspect's character while simultaneously reinforcing fear.
By the way, do we know if she's bi? Because Chad is like kind of convinced that she's bi, and then now Chad is like comparing her to Kristen Cinema, Like when did that happen? She does have some real Kristen Cinema voting down the 50 minimum wage energy though. Why does it matter? No, I just find it strange that like chat keeps saying she's bi. But like she could be. She is doing the handstand, which is you know, classic bisexual behavior. Yeah, bisexuals love doing handstands and sitting weird.
And apprehension. She makes it very clear from the offset that the suspect's fabricated naivety and sickly sweet persona will not work on this occasion, and Jodi's self-esteem will be broken down in a manner that would typically be considered bullying or abuse under different circumstances. This is done so that when Detective Flores returns, it will be a welcome relief, and an immediate rapport will then be attained, which in turn will make the suspect far more likely to cooperate. It's a derivative of good cop, bad cop, and the two investigators execute this technique in a near-perfect manner. Detective Blaney's time with the suspect is essentially a non-stop psychological onslaught, which is sometimes executed in a passive manner, while other times in a far more direct manner. During the latter stages of the bad cop procedure, Jodi will be asked if she would prefer to speak with Detective Flores instead. This question is posed a total of 5 times, and only on the 5th time will Jodi finally give in. I
didn't realize good cop, bad cop was like a real thing. I thought it was just like in movies.
That when Detective Flores finally returns, it was all her.
I just want to let all of you know that you didn't believe in me when I said I was a fucking expert, and I literally called out the technique. I'm just saying that I know what's up. I'm literally a detective now. Call me Detective Piker.
Doing, rather than a calculated and prearranged strategy.
Okay.
The voice recorder isn't actually for the purpose of recording the conversation.
It's just
it
to
is
make
a
her
prop to
uncomfortable.
reinforce the perception of Detective Blaney being the enemy, and not to be trusted. You'll notice that when Detective Flores returns, this device will be switched off, therefore reinforcing the idea that he is the friend who can be trusted.
Today's date is July 16th, and my name is Detective Rachel Blaney, and I'm here with Jodi Arias. Is that how you say your last name? Arias. Okay, I'm sorry. This is just formality, and this is, you know, if I have to, you know, write up a report of what we talked about, at least I know word for word, you know, what you said, and there's no mistakes. Mm-hmm. Okay. The reason that I wanted to talk with you this morning, there's a couple of reasons actually. Let me say this: it's obvious to me that, you know, you're not our typical suspect.
Why?
You come from a good home, a good family.
Oh my God.
Your parents obviously care about you. That was evident, you know, when they talked to him yesterday.
It's like you're quite.
Probably more intelligent than you were letting on yesterday. And there's no question in my mind or any of the other investigators' mind that you were the person that took Travis's life. But what I need to know, or what I'd like to know, and give you the opportunity to do, is determine whether, you know, you're a cold-blooded, cold-hearted murderer who slaughtered this guy, or are you somebody that got caught up in circumstances and things got out of control? When this hits the news, and it will, it'll go to the media, do you want to be portrayed as that cold-blooded?
Bro, did they think that she was supposed to be bad cop because she's a woman or something? Because, like, I feel like she's doing a better job than the other cop already. What the fuck? She's literally a better detective than the other guy. The other guy's like, ugh, come on, admit it. Just admit it.
Cold-hearted murderer, because the media loves that. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to give you a chance to make things right. You know, show the families that you do have some remorse. But when you continue to deny when it's obvious that that's not the case, you appear to be the cold-blooded killer. And things are going to start moving real fast here for you. This is kind of a pause, you know, before things, you know, start getting heavy. This is your opportunity to help yourself out. We don't need you to tell us anything. I'm doing this for you. It's a matter of, do you want to take control of your situation and paint the picture of who you are? Because you're the only one that knows that.
The professional ruthlessness of this investigator is quite astonishing. The demeaning and sarcastic tone she manages to superimpose over straight facts is gripping to witness.
You know, was it a matter of, like I said, this guy, Travis, building some sort of, what you thought was some sort of relationship? You know, were you hoping for marriage? Is this something that you were hoping for? Was he leading you down that path? You know, did he take advantage of you? Were there promises made that...
See, this, I don't know how this is bad cop, but what she's doing is like shifting blame away to potentially the guy in an effort to like gain confidence with her and like try to get her to fucking, you know, create a false narrative that like in her mind absolves her of the murder just so she can fucking admit to the murder and then boom, roasted. That's actually good. Like that's literally that is a better technique than whatever the fuck the other dude was doing. It was like, come on, just admit it. I'm backseating so hard, dude.
Trust in some way? I don't know. Only you know that. This is not going to go away anytime soon for you, Jodi. You know, you're a young woman, just starting your life. You had a lot going for you. You should be fighting for yourself right now. And you let this eat at you. And it's going to destroy you.
Yeah, isn't it ego up technique or whatever the fuck that we learned all the techniques from the Chris one.
Jodi manages to veer off on trivial aspects of her and Travis's relationship that paint her in a positive light. Officer Blaney makes it very clear that she has far less patience than Officer Flores. With what appears to be a very sympathetic tone, she will snap the suspect's focus back to the element of the murder.
As much as I love Travis, I just have always, there's something inside that says he's not the guy you're going to marry.
So then what was it? What was it that led up to all of this? I mean, there's got to be something. So I honestly don't believe that, you know, that you're cold-hearted and you would just go and just, you know, kill somebody on a whim. That doesn't fit your profile. So what was it that led up to that? You know, you tell me. You tell them. You tell, you know, Travis's family. I'm just trying to fill in the holes there, you know, and just kind of guessing about the emotions. You know, what was it that would make you, you know, so angry or upset?
Once Jodi is forcefully brought back to reality, she all of a sudden has nothing to say. The passive yet disparaging tone of the detective must be a very hard thing for an individual to have to sit there and take, especially someone who has used their fabricated sweet nature to their advantage most of their life in order to avoid these types of situations.
And if you're smart, you'll realize that, you know, you're not going to get a whole lot of other chances to do this, probably none. Once the wheels start turning, they move real fast. And you will be out of control then. You know, I'm a spiritual person myself, and I don't think that I would want that, you know, inside of me. I wouldn't want all of the ugliness of the lies inside of me. Take a minute just to think about what I said.
Jodi is clearly exhausted and terrified. She, at this moment, was being observed by both Detective Blaney and Detective Flores in another room, and they even contemplated having Detective Flores enter at this moment. They ultimately decided against it, however, and Detective Blaney re-enters the room to maximize this state of dejection.
Holy
the
shit.
pressure will now be increased to a considerable degree.
Maybe I did have a wrong picture of you. You know, all of this time that you and I have been talking, and I got information from your other interview, you are talking about insignificant things at this point. You're talking about money, you're talking about material things, you're talking about everything but...
I'm just talking
you're
about
talking
things
about
that
just
affect the people I care about.
You're talking about everything but how bad you feel about Travis. You only respond to my questions.
If I murdered
specifically
Travis,
about
I would be
Travis.
very remorseful.
I think that I...
Bro, she's still going with that. That's last week's Jodi takes, dude. She's still using the, oh, dude, I'd be so sad if I did the murder. Dude, you don't know me. Anyone who knows me knows, like, I'd be so sad if I did a murder. Like, literally. I'm just saying, like, so judging by how I'm not sad, you should know that I didn't do the murder. Also, do you perhaps know about the 10 Commandments? Because the first one is, thou shalt not kill. And guess what? I am Christian.
I've gotten the wrong picture of you. I think that, you know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you are that cold-blooded person that they're trying to portray. And, you know, I'm just really confused. At this point, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't anything that you can do to help yourself. You know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you're not as intelligent as I thought you were.
Oh, now she's like...
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know what else to do for you here, Jodi. I'm kind of at the end of
A
my
bit
rope.
rude, isn't it?
You're not going to get a whole lot of people that are trying to help you out along the way beyond this point. And what I'm hearing is somebody who doesn't give a rip about what happened. I'm hearing somebody that's worried about money, your appearance, everything about you. I don't hear anything about Travis unless you're specifically asked. How do you think that looks?
Listen, I don't care so much.
No,
about...
you listen. You are not grasping the reality here, Jodi. You are acting like the person that I
Sussy
portrayed.
little baka that you are.
The ugly, cold-blooded murderer.
Every time Jodi breaks down, the detective immediately focuses on Travis's family. She makes it abundantly clear that she has absolutely no sympathy for the suspect despite her best efforts.
I know Travis's family is struggling with why, and that would be the one thing that would give them closure. They may never like you, but I think that they would be appreciative of why their son's life was taken. I know if it was my child, that's what I would want. And I know that you're not a mother, but all women have those mothering instincts within them. And I think that you can understand that, what I'm saying. Was I off base, Jodi?
Could you be clear just so I could hear?
Sure. I understand that you're a very private person. Everybody has said that, and that's glaringly apparent. But all your business is going to be out in the open right now, so there's really nothing to hide from anymore. You know what I mean? And do you think at this point that your pride matters more than Travis's family?
Are they going to check the tissue if she actually cried? If there's any nose turds in there?
Family's grief?
It's called the tissue technique. I'm just saying. Real technique.
It's your chance to make at least something right. Even if it's on a small scale, it's a big deal to his folks. This is your opportunity to make right on some of your selfishness.
I wasn't angry at Travis. Everyone keeps saying whoever did this was so angry.
Then what were you?
Another instance of chat will literally say anything. Someone said, if there were actual boogers, I would gladly eat it. I would buy her tissue off of eBay. She's so hot and sweet. Coomer's trying to lick the Kleenex. We've matched your boogers to the boogers of the crime scene. Oh, Jesus Christ. Chat, I ran the top of the hour ad already. Why do you guys... Oh my God, you're like fucking abused. Like, every time I pause the video, there's like at least 4 to 5 motherfuckers who are like, dude, he's gonna run the ad now. Like, no, I ran it already, dude. It happened. Just admit that you love your chat? Of course I do. Why the fuck would I spend this much goddamn time here if I didn't? And I know motherfuckers are gonna be like, money. Yeah, you think I need to do this for 8 hours to make money, dude? No, I would be fine doing it for like 4 hours every fucking 3 days. When you said also, I immediately checked the clock. Your segues are fucking with me. Nice!
Were you jealous? Was he expecting you to come over that day?
He wanted me to. I told him I wasn't going to.
So was it a surprise that you actually showed up?
Jodi prepares to set off on another tangent about photography, but gets shut down right away. The detective doesn't allow her thoughts to keep wandering off on something unrelated as a means for attaining a brief distraction from reality.
I got pictures of him once shaving, and then he was already weird about that.
Well, Jodi, when you say things like that, it's obvious to me that you don't want to do the right thing for the family. You don't want to.
Yeah, you're fucking stalling.
Yourself.
It's obvious to me that you're fucking
closure.
stalling.
And you're jerking my chain. And I don't appreciate my chain being jerked. I'm tired of playing games. I'm tired of skirting around it. I thought that it would be easier for you to talk to a woman, to say what you need to say to a woman. Sometimes it is. But unless you're willing to give me something, then I can't do anything for you. After today, things are going to go so fast for you. You're going to be totally out of control of the situation. The wheels of justice will start turning. I understand that you're afraid and that you're horrified about that person within you that could do something like that. But it happened and it's a done deal and you did. At least you can do is tell the family how it happened so they can understand why. I mean, do you think you're going to get this opportunity again to sit down and just have a free-form discussion? There's not going to be any situation or place that's going to make it any easier for you. This is as good as it gets for you right now. Would you rather talk to him? If you do, you know, that's fine, and I'm sure that he'd be willing to talk with you again. Or would you rather continue talking with me? It's up to you.
I don't really have a preference, I guess.
I don't know what it is that's going on inside your head right now. I don't know whether you're weighing the odds, you know, trying to figure out how you can save your own skin here. Don't you think...
You know what she's rambling so much that you know what blows my fucking mind? Why didn't she call a lawyer? Like, I literally forgot that she had the opportunity to fucking call a lawyer. Like the moment that you are a suspect, I mean, anytime you fucking talk to the cops, you need to have a lawyer. Like you straight up, you should have that. But also, having said that, like, why are you helping the murderer out? I mean, it makes no sense. It's so fucking stupid that, like, she's just, like, trying to build this wall between her and the investigators without, like, bringing in a lawyer to the situation who would literally just be like, don't fucking talk to the cops, idiot. And no, it's not ad time. Oh my God, stop, guys.
That it's going to make just a little bit of difference inside yourself as far as that closure goes, if you know that the family at least has something. And if you're not going to do that today with me right now, I'm just going to send you back across the street. Because we've been in here for a while. And I don't have, the entire day. I guess my patients are running a little thin.
Did I
And
whip
if
you
think
guys
you're
into a
feeling
Pavlovian
grief
response whenever I say also? You think I'm going to do ads?
over this whole incident, think about how they feel. For once, think about somebody else.
That's crazy.
And if you want to talk to Detective Flores as opposed to me, you can do that. Like I said, I thought it would be easier for you to talk to a woman.
I kind of do want to talk to him because he has been in contact with with Travis's family a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if that would make any difference, but I know that he already talks to them on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, he has somewhat of a relationship with them. So I'll go see if he's...
Yeah, I'm not trying to stall or anything, but I've got to go to the bathroom again. Can we go?
Yeah.
Oh. Rachel called me and told me that you wanted to talk to me. Are you doing okay?
It doesn't matter how I'm doing.
It does to me.
Thank you, but it doesn't matter. What matters is how his family is doing.
I told you yesterday I've been doing this for a long time, and you're absolutely right. The person's family who was hurt, they're obviously hurting. But there's a second family that hurts as well. And in this case, it's your family.
The objective of good cop, bad cop seems to have worked. A higher level of trust and rapport seems to now be established. Jodi pours out her emotion as the detective offers a sympathetic and understanding tone. But then something very interesting happens. Once she composes herself, she for some reason requests to see the
Literally good cop, simp cop, dude. That's what it is, okay?
photos of Travis.
This is known as the simp. This is known as the simp method, okay? Where you just simp for the murderer.
Not before, but after he was murdered. Many could think she is attempting to gain some sort of depraved satisfaction from seeing them. Yet going off how the rest of this interrogation plays out, it's more likely that she is trying to gather information, or at least confirm something in the photographs, before she amends her new narrative.
This is more of a selfish reason. I think it might give me some sense of closure. I know it's kind of morbid. I don't even think I really deserve closure.
What is it you want to know about the photos? Do you want to see the room? Do you want to see the bathroom, or do you want to see him, or is it the photos before it happened that you want to see?
I think the photos of after everything.
I won't show you those.
Is there any that you can?
No. I can't do that. We had a difficult time identifying who he was by the time we got there. He wasn't the same person. So that's why I don't want to show you photos.
The detective attempts to get the dialogue flowing in a subtle manner, yet he's given the silent treatment anytime he poses an incriminating question. Jodi knows exactly what she can and can't say with respect to her own preservation. Her internal self is far more calculated than the naive exterior she continuously portrays.
So why were you there that day?
She stabbed him 28 times, and I think shot him in the head as well. But I don't know if she's like wanting to see the photos because she's horny, or if she wants to see the photos because if she wants to see the photos because she's what do you call it, like trying to figure out what the crimes are, like what the evidence is, so she can like actually, I mean, he said she wants to see the photos for info, but I don't know.
Please tell me. Did you just miss him? Should I be looking for somebody else? Was there anybody else with you besides you and Travis? Are you protecting somebody else?
The detective allows for extended periods of silence. Only Jodi will know for sure what she was thinking, yet one could safely assume she is desperately constructing her new narrative during these moments.
Trying to just figure it out. Just trying to think. What happened to me today and from here on out, if I just told you every single detail that I know, and I gave you a confession?
Nothing else changes. It just speeds up the process.
It's all really blurry. It really is blurry. It's all a blur. Can I please see those photos?
Why did you throw the camera in the washing machine? We found blood in the downstairs bathroom where somebody had tried to wash their hands. There's blood on the outside of the washing machine. There's little things that give us clues to what you were doing afterward. Everybody says he just leaves his doors open when he's home. Trusts everybody.
Wow. Chester would be like, oh, he left his doors open. A typical, he probably wanted to have sex with numerous women, which is why he deserved to be murdered.
Have you ever seen the movie The Secret?
I don't think so.
This was the cue for Jodi's next series of insufferable rambles. The detective valiantly endures this for the next 31 minutes to lower her guard.
I used to go to sleep at night and I would hear gunshots. We weren't in a bad neighborhood, but our neighborhood neighbored another neighborhood that wasn't that great, and gunshots scary. And they were, because Salinas is agricultural and there were a lot of fields, and I used to think that there were hunters in the fields with their dogs. They were swinging by and pick up Amy, my roommate. And I wasn't there, I don't think. I was at work or something. I've never been out. I've never been through the temple, but from what I understand, I think that it's such a sacred place, and meditating there and being there will help to give you further insight about where. There were 3 fears. One was handguns, which is one of the reasons I got a gun. There was a CHP here in town that said he would take me out and go target practicing, and I went to the sporting goods store several times to see what he had, and they were all in the $500 or $600 range for the kind that I wanted. So they were too expensive, but then there was this one, it was cheap.
Jodi's dialogue eventually winds up on the subject of Travis and how Travis was private about the shower. The detective seizes the moment to catch Jodi off guard. He subtly poses a highly incriminating question.
Bro, you think she thinks she can filibuster going to prison? Like, she's like, maybe if I just keep the testimony going for as long as I physically possibly can, like, they'll forget about it. Like, you know, the statute of limitations will run out or something. It's kind of crazy. She's just like...
in a jokingly manner.
He was very private about the shower. Like, we...
Is that why you were taking pictures of him in the shower?
No. No.
She doesn't deny she was there, only that she wasn't taking the pictures for that particular reason. She doesn't refute what is essentially an accusation, only a part of the context within it. This seems to be the moment where Jodi realizes the holes in her story are...
It's over. GG's. Good job.
She has to admit...
Finally, this detective simp with the simp method finally hit a fucking good one, dude. Holy shit.
She was at least at the scene of the crime, and will now start to scramble her thoughts to garner the most self-preserving storyline.
Trying to get back at him.
No.
Oh! Oh, she's locked. She literally realized it. Oh, no. No longer is it Pepela. She does know.
What did you do?
Oh shit, dude. She literally thought she was on a fucking date or something, dude.
I don't believe you planned it. Jodi. Please.
I can't.
Why not? Did someone catch you there? Someone not expecting you to be there?
They would have seen my car.
Then who was it?
I don't know their names. Listen, I can tell you. I can tell you everything that I know or that I remember.
Okay. What do you remember?
Is there any way I can see those pictures?
No, not right now.
Can I see them soon? I will. No.
You need to start letting me know what happened.
Okay.
You're telling me that some other people were there.
He was kneeling down in the shower.
What?
I don't remember him. If this is his shower and the sink is over here, I was like right here taking pictures. And I don't really know what happened after that. Exactly. Except I think he was shot.
Where were you?
If this is his shower, and he's sitting here, I was like, well, if this is his shower, and he's sitting here, I was like right here on my knees, and his bathtub is right here, and I was taking him here, and I was just going through the pictures, and I heard this loud ring. And
Okay, that's a she's doing bisexual sitting right there. That's the bi sitting technique, okay? See, I know.
I don't really remember except Travis was screaming. I think I got knocked out, but I don't think I was out long. And there were two people there, and
What'd you say?
I remember putting my hand on his back because he was on all four of his knees. He was like on his knees like this, doing something like this or something like, I don't know.
What the fuck?
And I was like, are you okay? What's going on? What's going on? He's like, go get help, go get help. And I said, okay. And I turned around, there were two people there. One was a guy and one was a girl.
What?
I couldn't tell that at first, but I could just see one was a girl, and I assume the other was a guy because they're build.
Bro, she is... Why did she... This is a throw. Like, this is straight throw. And I assume the reason why she threw this way is because she got caught in an accidental self-report where she was like, yeah, I'm there. You know, I was there. So, you know, it's done after that one.
And then their voices. Travis was screaming the whole time. He wasn't screaming like a girl. He was just like he was in pain, like he was like shocked, like, oh, you know.
What happened, Jodi?
What?
What did you see?
No, Robert Frost had a poem about this, actually, where, you know, he talked about the road less traveled, right? Like two roads converging. You know, it's like famous. It's just, so that's why, you know, there were two other people there that murdered my boyfriend.
I took it out like a little bitch. I ran. He was still like conscious and still alive, and
But you just left them there.
no, I ran into the closet, and he stopped me, and he didn't touch me. He was just held the gun to my head, and he was like, "You don't go anywhere." And he told after he told the other girl to finish it, I didn't see. He told me to stay there and not to move.
And where was that, in the closet?
No, it was,
She describes that the male stopped her from leaving, and then goes into detail about how her phone wasn't charged and how she forgot her phone charger. She then describes how she valiantly tried to save Travis from the female attacker.
She was over him, and I just rushed her and I pushed her.
In the next moment, she will state that the assailant comes back when she never went anywhere to begin with.
Is it just me, or do you guys also kind of feel like impressed by how much these people can fucking lie on the spot? Because, like, in a situation like this, obviously I wouldn't do a fucking murder, but, like, if I was in a situation where, like, I had to lie my way out of it, there is no shot, like, there is, like, no fucking shot I could lie, let alone continuously lie over the course of, like, 2 interrogation sessions, non-fucking stop for, like, 6 hours without stopping. I'd just be like, dude, fuck it. Just put me in jail, dude. That was me. It was me. I did it. Like, there's no shot. You know what I mean? I'd just be like, yeah, there was a guy there. Just kidding. It was, fuck, it's me. I did it. Fucking just, come on. We know, we saw how you play Among Us. Shut up. I was so good at Among Us, dude. Fucking, I was such a sussy baka. Fuck you, dude. Actually, I literally would say, just vote for me. I would get angry and say, just vote for me all the time.
I got Travis, and he wasn't, like, standing up, really. He wasn't really doing much, and I was trying to get him, and she came back. I got him kind of far, like right here. She came back. He was starting to just get weaker and weaker.
The irony of, like, you know, coming up with an elaborate lie like this is that I don't know if she doesn't understand this or not, but, like, you need evidence for this, and they already meticulously went over the crime scene. There's, like, none of that shit is gonna match.
And this guy came back in, and she said that they needed to do me too, because it was there, and he's like, no, that's not why we're here.
From what you're telling me, she was the aggressive one and he was the more passive.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely aggression as far as, I mean, I don't know what you define aggression by, but, like, there was definitely a sternness.
So it seemed like they knew him.
She's such an idiot, dude. She's never gonna recall this.
Seemed to know them. I mean, he was a little out of it. Plus, they had masks on anyway. But he didn't express any kind of recognition.
I couldn't talk.
The detective takes her back to the moment she tried to save Travis from the female attacker.
So I wasn't sure. I just knew I had to hold on to her hands because she had a knife.
What hand did she have it in?
She had it in this hand, but, well, her right, I guess. So.
Right.
I think part of the reason why the cop is not, like, losing his mind at this point is because he's like, finally, there's some content. You know what I mean? She's like, finally, she's not talking about the fucking secret anymore. At least, like, these are clearly lies, but at least they're lies that pertain to the fucking murder. You know what I mean?
I just said, come on, come on. You know, he was naked, but I didn't care. Just come on. And he's
not
like, I
guilty,
can't.
just quirky.
Come on. He's like, I can't feel my legs.
Jodi had obviously seen a lot of bad movies. Bear in mind, this conversation she had with Travis was supposedly happening as she was simultaneously fighting off a knife-wielding attacker. She glosses over the struggle, and she somehow ends up outside the bathroom. The two assailants are now inside the bathroom, arguing with each other about Jodi's fate. She hasn't stated whether Travis is alive or dead at this point.
It wasn't like super yelling. It was kind of like hushed but intense. Like, you need to da-da-da. Shut up. It's not over here. things like that.
The male assailant then takes Jodi's registration out of her wallet and looks at her address.
He said, if you ever say anything about this, he said they'll do to my family the same way, and me. He didn't care so much about me at that point. He said, you need to leave, and don't you call anybody, and don't say anything. He's all, I'm giving you one chance. And she said she's gonna rat us off, she's gonna say something, and he was like, shut up. He's like, you get one chance.
Jodi then leaves in her car. She of course doesn't mention the fact that she then left Travis a voicemail to give herself an alibi for not being there.
I was really scared. I was really...
Dude, you're so stupid, dude.
I don't believe you.
Motherfucker waited 5 hours, dude. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't believe you.
I came in here hoping that you would tell me the truth. And this is not the truth, Jodi.
This is all I know.
Does not make any sense.
Thank you, Blue Pfeiffer, for the 12 months.
I feel that I could have done more. I feel that I should have gotten help. I feel that I should have been stronger.
You feel responsible because you did this.
I did not
Jodi,
kill
you
Travis.
did. You did. And there's nothing you can say that'll change my mind at this point. This is an elaborate story which does not make any sense. I've done this for a long time. And this is the most far-fetched story I've ever heard. And it's not going to help you. Is that how you want to leave this?
I just don't want my family to get hurt.
There is a reason why you did this, and you just refused to tell me why. Maybe because you are cold and calculated. There's no reason somebody else would come in and do this to him. There's no motive whatsoever. We haven't found any.
What is my...
You've only been a sub for 9 months, bitch.
Jealousy, anger, fear, if you're being alone, angry at him for not keeping you in his life. I don't know. That's why I'm trying to figure it out. There are so many motives with you. Too many.
Jodi continues to give random details about the fictional assailants for a further 8 minutes without being asked. The detective then ends the interrogation.
One was male, one was female. They were taller than me. Not by a whole lot.
Like, what is she thinking here? Like, what the fuck? What is she thinking? Why is she still going?
Are you ready to go back?
Yeah, I guess I'd still like to say something to his family, but I don't think I have anything that could bring them comfort.
Okay.
Maybe I could write them a letter.
Even as the detective is leaving the room, Jodi attempts to add further credibility to the new narrative and gives more details of the two attackers.
I could give you the
So
best
many
description.
inconsistencies that I don't even want to deal with right now.
Okay, I just don't want my family to get hurt.
Okay.
Dude, he's like butthurt, dude. This is called the simping ain't easy, but it's necessary technique. Okay? He literally is pulling like a, I don't even want to talk to you right now. I thought we had something. Like, she broke him, dude. Who's doing the interviewing now? This is literally like the nice guy's IG account right here. He's like, you fucking slut whore. You fucking slut whore, bitch. You just don't want to be with a gentleman like me. That's what's going on here. My man literally is just like, he just got cop zoned. You know what I'm talking about, chat, where like guys, nice guys, like the nice guy IG account will be like, will show like fucking DMs from like nice guys who are like, hey, what's up, milady? And then they won't, like, the lady won't respond, and they're like, "You're a fucking whore." Like, that's kind of what he's doing right now.
They won't get hurt.
Nice guys of Instagram, I think, maybe.
That's what you're doing. Okay?
He's like,
Detective Blaney comes back with
it's like, why wouldn't you murder me like you murdered your boyfriend? What the fuck? All you want to do is murder Travis and not me.
pen and paper
Standing
3
right
minutes
here.
later. She was curious to see what Jodi would write to Travis's family. It ended up being a self-serving and whimsical paragraph about how sorry she was that she couldn't save Travis. The family were never given the letter. Jodi completely dissects and carefully examines the ham and cheese sandwich before she eats any of it, and as you've probably guessed by now, continues to behave in a rather
Why is she
unusual
doing
manner.
that? Thank you. The Asian sensation with the 5 gifted subs.
Okay, you ready to go?
Wait, is that bisexual behavior, chat?
I think so.
I guess
Classic,
that's really
dude.
all I needed. Sorry. Don't roll the tape yet.
Why was he a good traveling companion?
Oh, he was a great traveling companion for many reasons. Traveling with Travis was kind of like traveling with your own personal comedian or serenader.
Jodi not only stuck with her story about the assassination squad, she doubled down and agreed to every media request that came her way. She also stuck with the soft-spoken, sweet-natured, Jesus-loving character that wouldn't hurt spiders, let alone human beings. But she once again fails to realize this fake disposition doesn't match the situation.
I mean, chat was fucking literally simping for her when she was pixelated. Okay? So, of course, now that she has makeup on and it's like, you know, HLN, Nancy Grace, high definition, chat's literally gonna be like, she's innocent, and anyone who fucking says she's not is a liar, and I will fight them. God damn it, dude. You Coomers, like, you really do deserve prison time or something. Y'all are fucking crazy, dude. I'm looking at the time codes. Hold on. I keep trying to look at the time codes as they're coming up.
If you were sitting in a squalid jail, wrongfully accused of murder, and as a result facing life in prison or even the death penalty, you wouldn't be acting like this. She's trying to come across as the innocent girl next door, but she just looks like a terrifying lunatic.
To know that he was stabbed some 27 times and shot once in the left cheek. Who could have done this to him?
I don't know.
Who do you think killed him?
I have no idea.
Jodi, you're pretty calm sitting here. How are you managing to stay so calm?
Through my faith and through the knowledge of my own innocence. That's the only thing. I would be shaking in my boots right now if I had to answer to God for such a heinous crime.
Jodi Arias killed.
Oh, fuck. She got bangs, dude. God damn it, dude. Luckily, they're like half bangs. Like, it's not full bangs, okay?
Travis Alexander. There is no question about it.
This is Jodi's defense team, and what you just saw was the very beginning of their opening statement on the first day of her trial. The date is January 2nd, 2013. Exactly 4 years, 6 months, and 2 days after Travis was murdered.
The $1 million question is what would have forced her to do it.
What?
They must have figured the assassination story wouldn't go down well with a jury, especially when confronted with the many steps Jodi took to get away with the murder. So the narrative has now changed for a third time, and the defense have to come up with a plausible explanation for Jodi's trail of deception. The hole she had dug herself into was exceptionally deep, and her attorneys are now crafting the rope to pull her out.
Jodi did not always tell the truth about what happened that night. She was scared. Scared about what had happened and scared about what she had done. She had absolutely no experience with police interrogation before.
You don't say.
And so when they talked to her, she wasn't always truthful. Her fear...
Dude, sometimes, dude, I like in the 90s, there were a lot of memes about lawyers, right? About how like they're the devil, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like it doesn't happen anymore as much. Like, people don't really shit on lawyers as much. It used to be like a very common trope or a meme that like lawyers are horrible people. And I'm remembering why these memes existed. What the fuck is this, bro? The lawyer's literally like, she did it. We're just gonna lie now and act like she did it for something different, dude. That's insanity, okay? Like, actual demon behavior is like knowing full well that your fucking client is guilty of a murder and just making up a new story as you go along just to like get her off. And I know that there's chatters in here who are going to be like, oh, that's what a good lawyer is supposed to do, dude. Like, that's what a good lawyer is supposed to do. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like that's not what a lawyer is supposed to do. But what a Twitch streamer is supposed to do is tell you when it's the top of the hour, 10 minutes before it's actually the top of the hour to get you fucking not excited for the ad break. Oh, it's time for a 60-second ad break again, dude. You'd like to no longer see the ads. You know the deal, dude. You subscribe with a Twitch Prime. You use an ad block, VPN. Dude, these segues are actually abuse, dude. Please don't justify murdering me, okay? I fucking got you, dude. That was a good ass segue, dude. God damn, dude. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Do you even like streaming anymore? I think you just show up to do segues. Wait, so how do these demons of lawyers make money? Like just from media coverage? What do you mean? No, they make money from... Wait, they charge her, I think. I think she's from like a decently rich family, no? I literally am on the verge of not watching you anymore. No shot. You've been in here since fucking 10/11/2020. No shot you stop now. Your segues are longer than the ads? Yeah, I know, dude. You building up is such a dead giveaway now? That's not true.
And her panic about what had happened led her to tell different stories. Throughout this trial, you will learn more about Jodi Arias.
Although not everyone in Travis's family were devout Mormons, all of them were close. He in particular had a very strong relationship with his sister Tanisha. And as you can probably tell, a picture can say 1,000 words.
Much more about Jodi. You will find that she is an articulate, bright young woman who's a very talented artist and photographer. And so what would have forced her to have to take Travis's life on that awful day? In order to answer that question, we have to go back to the beginning.
The bulk of the defense's opening was to paint Jodi as the naive victim and Travis as the...
As a result of propaganda in the 90s after massive lobbying for tort reform, you idiot, lawyers were villainized for the sake of protecting capital. God damn, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a lawyer, dude. In the 90s. Fuck. I mean, I'm watching lawyers be demons right now, dude. How am I supposed to know that, motherfucker?
The calculated villain.
Being a temple member and an executive director...
For the record, for the people who are saying, it's her right to a fair trial or whatever. Yeah, but It's still illegal to know that like your client did it and then lie about it. That's why lawyers always tell you like, you know, don't tell me anything. Like they're not supposed to fucking. No, it's not. Wait, it's not illegal, but like, isn't it? Wait, is it? I mean, lawyers can't testify because they have attorney-client privilege, but can't they be asked? Actually, I don't know. It's illegal for them to allow you to perjure yourself? It's actually not because they have attorney-client privilege. The lawyer does have a duty if they know you committed the crime. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I mean, it's definitely immoral as fuck, but... Wait, I don't want to Google this. I feel like this is a self-report. You know what I mean? I'm going to Google, can a lawyer know you committed a crime? Can a lawyer know you did the murder? I'm not Googling that, dude. I'm going to jail if I Google that. It's not illegal. It's unethical and you could face disbarment. Yeah, I thought that there was like... If the client tells the attorney about the location of a missing witness or victim or a key piece of tangible evidence, the attorney sometimes will need to disclose that information. If a lawyer knows what a witness plans to commit perjury or has committed perjury, they will have a duty to disclose information to the court. There is an ethical duty to inform the court when they know their client is about to lie. In some circumstances, the court can ask what you discussed with your attorney if you talk to them during a testimony. If you confess your crime to your lawyer cannot argue you did not. That's what I thought. Am I wrong about this? Isn't that literally the reason why lawyers like... Or do they always lie about it? Okay, armchair lawyer, you can trust me. In the course of representing a client, a lawyer shall not knowingly A, make a false statement of material fact or law to a third person, or B, fail to disclose a material fact to a third person when disclosure is necessary to avoid assisting a criminal or fraudulent act by a client, unless disclosure is prohibited by Rule 16. I'm not saying this lawyer is, but like, I thought that you're not supposed to fucking tell your lawyer if you did the murder, because then like the lawyer can't be like, my client didn't do the murder. I'm not saying for this reason. There are multiple ethics classes you have to take in law school. Moral and ethics are two different things. Ethically, you are obliged to represent your client, but you can sidebar and alert the court to what you know and provide reasons to why you can't represent someone, but it causes a lot of issues. A defense lawyer may not lie to the judge or jury by specifically stating that the defendant did not do something the lawyer knows the defendant did do. Even crimes that are obviously done need to be defended in a court of law. Yes, I understand that. What I'm stating is that like a lawyer can't literally lie, right? Lawyers can perjure themselves, or let you perjure yourself. That's the rule. So if you tell, it's a problem. Yeah. I'm not talking about her situation specifically, chat. I'm not talking about this situation specifically. I'm saying in general, if you have done a crime, like a murder or whatever, you're probably not supposed to tell your lawyer that you literally did the murder, because while it is still technically covered under attorney-client privilege, no, your lawyer would advise you to tell them the entire truth that you wish to portray. The more you lie to your attorney, the harder it is for them to defend you. Google it. If you get in trouble, I'll testify to say it was for educational reasons. I'm not going to Google it, dude. I'm scared now.
Director of prepaid legal, outward appearances would be very important to Travis. And so while he continued this facade of being a good and virginal Mormon man, he was inwardly dealing with his own sexual issues. And in Jodi, he found somebody who was easily manipulated and controlled. Someone who would provide him with that secretive sexual relationship that he needed.
They also mention that Travis was violent with Jodi on several occasions, that he would fly into these sudden rages for almost no reason, and that Jodi was terrified of him. They end their statement with Jodi's latest account of how Travis was killed, which is now a case of justifiable self-defense. The attorney gets to the moment Jodi was taking pictures of Travis in the shower.
Jodi accidentally drops Travis's camera.
I mean, he seemed to work for Casey Anthony, and she got some dick. Shut the fuck up, chat.
And as that camera was falling, that was enough for Travis, because he lunged at Jodi in anger, knocking her to the ground in the bathroom where there was a struggle. Jodi's life was in danger. In just a minute from this picture,
oh shit!
We go
shit! Fuck! Oh, saved. There's actually nothing there. It doesn't even fucking matter. But
the next picture, where it's Travis's body, he's clearly injured already in a minute. Now that very brief moment of time, a minute, is not the result of premeditation. In that 1 minute, had Jodi not been forced to defend herself, none of us would be here. In that 1 minute, had Jodi not chosen to defend herself?
Okay, 134 to 135. I'm gonna skip the whole minute.
This is not a case of whodunit. The person who done it, the person who committed this killing, sits in court today.
Bro, I swear to God, I can tell when someone's going to jail just by seeing how charismatic the prosecutor is versus how charismatic the defense attorney is. I swear to fucking God, dude, you can like tell. I mean, obviously, like, you know, evidence is really important too. Like, I mean, they caught her dead to rights in this one, but like remember the fucking Casey Anthony case where like they literally had all of the evidence and she got away? That's because the fucking prosecutor was dog shit in that situation. Also, how the fuck are you gonna say 27 stab wounds and a fucking slitting of a throat is self-defense after getting shot in the face, dude?
It's the defendant, Jodi Ann Arias. And the person that she done it to is an individual by the name of Travis Victor Alexander, a former boyfriend of hers, an individual that she was in love with, an individual that was a good man, an individual that was one of the greatest blessings in her life. And this love, well, she rewarded that love for Travis Victor Alexander by sticking a knife in his chest. And you know, he was a good man, according to her. And with regard to being a good man, well, she slit his throat as a reward for being a good man. And in terms of these blessings, well, she knocked the blessings out of him by putting a bullet in his head. She took the knife and began to stab him when he was in that defenseless sitting position.
This is very important to take note of. The prosecution just referred to this. the last photograph of Travis alive. Their argument is that Jodi either asked him to sit down or at least waited for him to sit down before she began her attack. She knew Travis had to be in a disadvantaged position before she commenced her assault, and the prosecution's argument is that it was at this moment when Travis received a stab wound to the heart. He would have then began to rapidly lose consciousness from that point forward. He attempted to protect himself and escape, but
Dude, he's like naked after the shower. Okay? The only other position where a man feels more vulnerable than like naked right after the shower is if he was wearing a t-shirt with no underwear. Okay? Those are the two. That's the most vulnerable position you can be in, dude. I'm just like literally. If he was wearing a t-shirt with no underwear, that's the most vulnerable. But then the second most vulnerable is when you're naked, laying in bed after a shower. Not good.
He was soon overwhelmed by his attacker due to the rapid blood loss. The pool of blood outside his bathroom reinforces the argument that his throat was cut after the stabbings.
Jesus
and a coroner's
Christ.
report, which will be revealed in more detail later on, concludes that Travis was in all likelihood shot in the head last. Jodi's version, on the other hand, has to be that Travis was shot first. The reason for this will also be explained later on.
And began and stuck the knife in his chest. He struggled. He grabbed the knife. And when he grabbed the knife, of course that resulted in more blood. I pushed the girl who was there, and I was able to get the better of her, and I was about to run out, get out and go get some help. Except that I was then confronted by the guy. This guy started looking through my purse. And lo and behold, in my purse, believe it or not, I happen to have my car registration that shows my address, because that's what I carry around. So they knew, they being this guy, knew exactly where I lived. And he said to me, well, if you tell what happened here, the same thing's going to happen to your family.
Bro, this is so dumb. I mean, she's
It's a different
so...
story now. Now, it's not that she wasn't there. Now, it's not that it's two people with whatever variation she may have provided to these national shows. Now, she admits it. It was her. She's the person who actually did this. And even though she says that, she still has a view as to the evidence. And this is exhibit number 248.
No jury is going to convict me
Why not?
because I'm innocent, and you can mark my words on that one. No jury will convict me.
I also ask that you mark her words while you're marking the guilty verdict for her premeditated killing of Travis Alexander.
Jodi spent 18 days on the stand. When she knew what questions were coming, and when completely uncontested, she was very much in her element. She was able to respond to the questions instinctively, and her dialogue came out in a confident and natural manner. You could tell she had each and every one of her responses planned to.
Dude, you literally called a black woman a Nazi today because of what she said about rap music? Dude, literally fucking spamming it. Spamming it right now. Dude, one, I don't know who the fuck is black and who the fuck is not black. Why the fuck am I supposed to know that? Two, the argument that they made straight up is the same exact fucking argument that Nazis make about art. And three, the black woman was the person who fucking compared rap music to minstrel forms of art. When I was talking about like rap music being the personal experiences of fucking black people or whoever the fuck is singing the rap music. Also, fuck you, dude. I mean, seriously, fuck you, dude. Here, is that what you wanted? There you go, dude. Here, you got fucking banned now. God damn, dude. You guys are big defenders, dude. You really did it. You really did it. I'm making the community a less safe space. You're making the community a fucking more safe space by re-bringing this up. Okay? After we have already moved on, moved beyond this. What a fucking idiot, dude. Yo, thank you for your defense, dude. You really exposed me for the racist I am and showed everybody how non-racist or anti-racist you are. God damn, dude. Could have just ignored the comment, you know? How about fuck you? How about I didn't ignore the comment? And how about you fuck yourself? You could have just literally not typed that in the chat, but you chose to because you know I'll fucking read it. Let's keep going.
A T, and had considerable faith that her manipulative prowess would ultimately save her.
I don't know why, but they were Spider-Man, and...
At this point in the trial, the defense had already detailed how Travis was physically abusive, sexually overbearing, and a deep-seated pedophile. Jodi stated that she caught him on his computer looking at images of children, and that Travis had even asked her to wear Spider-Man underwear during sex. The next segment is Jodi's supposed theory as to why Travis had such a request.
I do know, however, that the year prior, there's a child he was close with that really liked Spider-Man. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but he was very much into Spider-Man.
This is the reason why she never left Travis after finding out about his pedophilic urges.
I was under the impression that when he was able to sleep with a woman as opposed to fantasizing about a child, he felt like more normal as a man. So also I had seen prior to this incident many beautiful qualities about him and good qualities about him and things that were attractive about him. And I believed that this incident was a negative part of himself that he didn't want to foster or that he was fighting or struggling against, and that he ultimately wanted to eradicate.
So just to clarify what she actually said, her understanding and support of nature was the reason she stayed in a relationship with an unashamed pedophile. She kept it a complete secret, hoping he would change, all the while he was being physically and emotionally abusive on a regular basis. She's tearing down his character, but trying to do so in a subtle manner. She gives off the impression that she's holding back on his detraction to preserve some of his reputation, when she's actually trying to destroy it as much as she possibly can. This is Jodi's version of events that led up to the killing in her own words. It's important to note that when you rehearse something in your head repeatedly, it can be as though it actually happened. And as we know, Jodi had nothing but time on her hands for the last 4.5 years. The clip will begin at the moment she dropped Travis's camera.
It slipped. It was kind of like, the best I could describe it, like when you go to catch a football but it bounces and you kind of fumble it a little, because it didn't slip and just drop. It slipped and I tried to catch it and it kind of bounced a little and then fell on the ground and bounced and rolled onto the tile. It fell first on the mat, then it rolled right onto the tile. The mat isn't very big, it's just kind of right outside the shower. At that point, he got very angry and he stepped out of the shower. He lifted me up from the crouch position with enough force that my feet came off the ground momentarily, and he body slammed me on the tile. At that point, I rolled and I ran down the hallway. I ran into the closet. I slammed the door. I start running. If you are looking at the diagram, it would be on the left side of the seat. I began running that way with my initial intent to probably run out this door. I instead went for the gun.
According to Jodi, a gun was hidden above the shelves in Travis's closet. She had discovered it a month earlier while cleaning.
I grabbed the gun. Right about then, Travis was opening the door. I grabbed it. I ran out into the bathroom. He ran, I believe, straight toward the door as well. At that point, I had run out of the bathroom, and I turned, and I just wanted him to stop, so I pointed the gun at him, hoping that that would just make him halt. And it didn't. Instead, he lunged at me right around the time that the gun went off, and I didn't mean for it to go off.
This is why her version has to be that Travis was shot first. According to her, it was all an accident. There was no intention to actually kill, and Travis's death was the unintended result of his own senseless aggression. So you might be wondering how she can explain the 27 stab wounds and the laceration to his throat.
We fell with pretty good force down in the corner, near 15, but not quite that close. It was kind of near the sink, kind of, sort of that area. And he fell kind of on top of me, but to my right.
Bro, there's literally no defense of like stabbing someone 27 times and then shooting them and then slitting their fucking throat like 28 times. Like, there's just nothing. There's no. And also, you made up a lie. Like, if he was a pedophile, why'd you make up a lie that like 2 people were trying to murder him? Like, there is anyone who entertains this is only doing so because they're simping. Straight up. There is no other way that anyone could fucking entertain this story. Yes, there is this one, and that doesn't mean it's a good one.
I didn't want him to get on top of me. He was grabbing at my clothes. He was trying to get on top of me. I don't know where the gun went at that point. It was not in my hands anymore.
Like, seriously, I just can't get over it. Like, okay, so he was a pedophile. Came out of the blue, by the way. What the fuck? But, like, that's still not a defense, okay? There is no, like, oh, he was a pedophile, which is why I murdered him when he wasn't even, like, doing anything in the act. You know what I mean? Like, legally speaking, you can't just be like, oh, well, you know, this person is a pedophile, so that's why I murdered him. Without any evidence whatsoever. But also, like, if he's a pedophile, like, why'd you defend him and act like he was being murdered by someone else? I know she's trying to do the, you know what she's doing? She's doing the white cop defense, okay? This is what cops do when they kill black people. They, like, literally disparage the person, lie about their situation, or if they have a criminal record, they will bring that up over and over again. That's what the media does. That's what she's trying to do here. But it still doesn't make sense.
It got knocked out of my hands, or if I dropped it, what? I broke away from him, and as soon as the moment I broke away, that's when he threatened my life.
Just to be clear on what Jodi is talking about, after she accidentally shot Travis in the head, he wrestled her to the floor, but she then managed to break away, at which point he screamed the words, "I'll fucking kill you, bitch."
I'd have no clear memories after that. At all. Things began to get really foggy after the gun went off.
So there it is, her explanation as to why she slit the throat and continued stabbing the man she had no intention of killing is that she can't remember. The trauma of the situation caused complete memory loss, but she's able to detail how terrified she was right before her recollection goes blank.
It's hard to describe the fear. It was like mortal terror. It really was. When he was trying to get on top of me, I thought he was, and then he threatened my life. I really thought he had intentions to kill me. So I don't remember any specifics of what happened right after that point.
This is her explanation as to why she never called the police once she came to her senses, and also why she went to such lengths in order to cover up her involvement.
I didn't want people to know the kinds of things that were going on in our relationship. I felt that if I told police Travis attacked me, I would have to give explanation as to why he attacked me. And if I gave explanation as to why, I would have to go back through the different incidents that we'd gone through and how those things didn't really begin until after I walked in on him. I believe they were related, and I didn't ever want to go there. So it was all convoluted, and I thought that by saying that would open the door.
Bro, there are some real fucking freaks out there, dude. Remember, chat, she fucking murdered this dude. Is like totally fucking lying about it without even, she's not even like, doesn't have a shred of remorse. Like, she's so calm describing this action that like is traumatizing for 99.9% of the people on this planet. She's just like, yeah, I just didn't want to do it. I blacked out. Oops. Oh, wait. Before we fucking forget, she literally drove after she fucking murdered him, drove to another boyfriend's house and fucked him too. Oh my God. I forgot about that. No, not an ad. Stop.
To that. And I didn't want to de-edify him.
So just to abbreviate what she said, it was all to protect Travis's reputation. She asserts that she was so upset by the event that she became suicidal, and would detail 4 different occurrences in which she tried, but ultimately failed to kill herself. The first attempt was intended to be by self-inflicted gunshot, and Jodi connects it to the registered gun police found in her bedroom after the arrest.
I was going to wait until I left Wairika and got to the Salinas or Monterey area so that it didn't happen right in my family's own backyard, so to speak. And I was leaving for that area the morning I was arrested, actually.
Her other attempts supposedly happened when she was in jail.
I had written out all...
Here is a fucking very interesting fact about Arizona. It's one of 3 states in the country where the jury can ask questions, which is kind of wild when you think about it. And apparently they did. I don't know if they'll show this in the video, but it's kind of wild that like you just have like juries straight up ask questions.
All my suicide letters, I sent my note. I sent them all in an envelope to my grandmother's. Do not open until November 10th, 2008. I was hoping to be dead by then. I was like giving myself a little time to get my affairs in order. I had asked for extra long.
If you were so traumatized by murdering your, traumatized by murdering this dude, like, why did you literally, the first thing you do is call yourself to, like, establish an alibi that you weren't there? Kind of weird, dude.
Laundry so I could stuff it around my body because there was somebody sleeping below me and I didn't want anything to, like, I didn't want anything to get on her. So I stuffed it around my body and got under my blankets with my razor. I never did it, obviously. I'm still here, but I was getting comfortable and I was really pissed at myself because I just wanted to be done.
The final strategy from the defense is to portray self-blame from the defendant. It's a subtle ploy to make it seem as though she's not even trying to appear innocent, and thus give credibility to everything she had stated up to this point.
Have you forgiven yourself for not finding another way out of the situation you found yourself in on June 4th?
No, I think that if I had just left before any of that happened, I have a million regrets. I mean, I was scared of him and I reacted, but I still...
Try equals win.
I will always regret everything about that.
Do you blame yourself for not taking some other alternative measures?
Yes. I think maybe if I had handled the gun properly and I meant to just point it at him. I thought it would stop him. And maybe he wouldn't have gotten as angry as he did. Maybe he wouldn't have threatened to kill me. I don't know.
Ma'am, you remember having a conversation with Detective Flores of the Mesa Police Department back on July 15th of 2008?
Yes.
And this was the day that you were arrested, right?
Yes.
What's fascinating about this prosecutor's approach is that the vast majority of his cross-examination doesn't even challenge Jodi's new storyline. He simply asks specific questions within it. He puts a microscope under certain elements and lets the absurdity of it all speak for itself.
And during that time, you told him something, and let's take a look at it right now.
Okay. I think you can help us.
I would love to help you in any way that I can.
Okay.
That's not true, is it?
I don't know. I guess it depends on what help means.
Yes or no? Were you there to help him?
I don't know.
Were you there to tell the truth?
No.
That wasn't the truth, was it? That you were there to help him, was it?
No, that was not the truth.
You'll notice that Jodi has a hard time agreeing to details that actually conform to her own narrative. The tone of the prosecutor puts her on the defensive, and she tries her best to avoid agreeing with what he's saying, even though the actual context of his dialogue correlates with her own defense.
And in fact, you were there for a different purpose. You were there so that he wouldn't get the truth, right?
No, I was there against my will.
There's nothing that the detective ever did to get you to say whatever it was that you said at the first interview, right?
Not that I recall.
Dude, this guy is a fucking demon, but GG's on this dude because I think he was disbarred for sexually harassing female law clerks in his office. And also, I think he was accused of leaking the identity of an Arias juror.
Well, again, we're with the memory issue. Ma'am, are you having problems remembering what happened back on July 15th of 2008?
No.
So he didn't do anything then, right?
Anything what?
What are we talking about, ma'am? Are you again having problems understanding what's going on?
Your Honor, if she can't understand his questions, that's...
Overruled. You may answer.
I don't understand his question.
Ma'am, the detective didn't do anything during the interview to cause you to lie, right?
No.
So with this interview, you then started to talk about whether or not you had been in Arizona, right?
Yes.
You said no, you hadn't been in Arizona.
Good one,
right?
dude.
That's right.
That's an absolute lie, right?
Yes.
And the reason that you didn't want to admit to being in Arizona is because you knew that you had killed Travis Alexander, right?
Yes.
Ma'am, after that interview, you then had another chance to have a conversation with Detective Flores the next day, right?
Yes.
And again, it was a voluntary conversation, wasn't it?
Yes.
And it was the same situation as the day before, right? He sat down, he asked you questions, right?
Yes.
That's when you changed your story, didn't you?
Yes.
Because you did not want any consequences with regard to the killing of Travis Alexander, right?
I wasn't concerned about consequences at that point. That wasn't my goal. So,
Well, was your goal to go to prison?
not a physical prison on Earth, no. I was trying to kill myself, I think.
Ma'am, you've said that many times, that you tried to kill yourself, right? In court.
I don't know that many, but I've recounted a time that I did.
You've said it more than 3, 4, 5 times, right?
Perhaps.
It's very interesting to see.
Drew's about to be like, wow. You're not being very understanding of someone with suicidal ideation, sweaty. Canceled. Prosecutor, you're fucking canceled, dog.
Which questions she tries to avoid, or which statements she outright refuses to concur with. Her suicidal tendencies were such a huge part of her own testimony, yet she just can't bring herself to agree with what was a very straightforward question from the prosecutor. The amount of times she spoke about suicide should be of no concern, unless, of course, she had an agenda behind it. When a specific topic such as this gets brought up, she all of a sudden becomes highly cautious in how she responds. Cross-examination on the actual killing started on day 39. At this moment, Jodi has already explained that she dropped the camera, was body slammed by Travis, rolled away, and had just ran into the closet to get the gun.
So then you just said that you were going over to the closet area to get the gun, right?
The corner.
The corner, right? And as you are in that corner, he's coming in through the door, right?
Yes.
But man, this is a very small closet, isn't it?
No, it's bigger than the cell that I live in.
It's bigger than what?
It's bigger than the cell that I live in. It's not a small closet.
Ma'am, we don't want to know where you live in. Do you understand that?
I'm just...
Damn, he's like, I mean, he's badgering her a little bit. Like, I feel like this is not actually good because, like, the jury will come across sympathetic to her now. Actually, you just hate Jodi because she's a woman coded, is woman, and has mental health issues, Mormon.
Just using that as reference, it's not small.
You understand? Did I ask you where you were living?
No.
We're clear, right? We do not want to know where you're living right now. You understand that?
Okay, sorry.
You run into the bathroom.
Jesus Christ, that scared me. Okay, that's like nothing there. Okay, got it.
Don't you?
Yes.
You're in a hurry, right?
Yes.
You want to get away, right?
I want him to not get close to me.
Well, you want to get away. That's what's going on, right?
I want him to not get near me. That's what's going on.
And so what you do then is, according to you, is you then go in here and then you pivot, right? Or turn around.
Yes.
You have the gun. Which hand do you have the gun in?
Both.
So you have it out like this with both hands outstretched?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so you have the gun outstretched and he's still not there yet, right? He's still in the closet.
He's coming out the door as I turn.
So he's at the door now, right? And according to you, he is on you when you shoot him, right?
Not quite on me. I think the gun went off and then he impacted me right shortly after that.
And in fact, according to your testimony on direct, he falls on top of you, right?
He lunges at me like a linebacker.
Jodi used this linebacker analogy a number of times throughout the trial. The prosecutor now asked,
I bet that's fucking coached. Like, Where did that come from, dude? That seems so fucking memorized and coached, dude. Like, oh yeah, he lunged at me like a linebacker. Like a linebacker.
Asked her to give a visual example. It appeared to have no real tactical purpose, but it was certainly a welcome and somewhat comical distraction for the viewers at home amid the graphic testimony.
As he was
No, just show me. That's what I'm asking you to do, not talk. Show me. Show me the linebacker pose.
He got down and...
Well, show me the linebacker pose. That's what I'm asking for you to do.
Okay. He went like that, and he turned his head and grabbed my waist.
Just like that, correct?
Pretty much.
And he grabbed your waist, right?
I can't say it's just like that, but that's what I remember.
Well, no, just I want, without talking, just show me the...
Okay, this dude is being like extra short with her, dude. He shushed her. He said, shh, shush.
Pose.
He got down like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and have a seat then. After he came at you, ma'am, and that happened, did you go down?
She's a murderer? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm thinking about it from the point of view of like the jury. This guy's taking a lot of liberties with his cross-examination here, because like he's really playing with fire, dude. If they fucking, I mean, reasonable doubt is all they need, right? So like you should be making this as airtight as possible. And if you start making her look sympathetic by badgering her over and over again, like, I don't know, dude.
We both went down.
And he's still not dead, right?
Definitely not. He's very angry.
He's very angry, and this is seconds afterwards, right?
Yes.
Is he on all fours now?
He's on the side of me, grabbing at my clothes and grabbing at me.
What happens then?
I break away from him and he screams out, "Fucking kill you, bitch."
And then what do you do?
I don't really remember. I just remember... I don't remember anything at that point, so I would be speculating.
So you don't remember a single solitary thing after that, right?
The prosecutor for the next several hours would...
The reason why they're not interjecting is because it's probably because of what I just mentioned. Lawyers don't want someone to talk about things not relevant to the question being asked. You don't want their emotion to show and sway the jury. It's better to be seen as a dick than for the jury to sympathize with the answers you want to hear. I mean, probably the reason why they aren't like interjecting with any objections here is because they probably realize like this prosecutor looks like a fucking asshole, and that's their best shot at like potentially getting some sympathy from the jury.
Argue the improbability of that being the case. The memory loss caused by trauma would put Jodi's mind in a state of disorganized chaos. Yet her next steps were highly calculated, as we all know. Even going by her own narrative, she knew exactly where to strike Travis with a knife in order to kill him. She also cleaned down the crime scene and deleted the photos from Travis's camera. This argument took over 3 hours to conduct and had to be explained through the scope of mathematics and science. On paper, it was perhaps the most damning part of cross-examination, yet it was so...
My brother's here, chat. He just walked in and he asked me what we're doing for dinner, and I told him I'm not having dinner. That's why I said I'm almost done.
So complicated that much of the testimony could have been lost with a jury. It was in fact the start of day 44 that had the most impact. It involved the time span between the two photographs taken on Travis's camera by accident. The prosecutor's argument is that Jodi would not have enough time to carry out her version of events. He will first get her to recount all of these events in detail, and as she is doing so, will be oblivious to the prosecutor's closing argument. She will begin digging her own grave without realizing it, and it's important to note that all of what she is about to recount occurred in just 62 seconds.
This exhibit 161 is when the...
You can't really tell, but still.
Camera, according to you, actually hit the ground, right?
I don't know if it's hitting the ground as that photo was taken or not.
So you don't know how this photograph was taken then, right?
It could have been when I was trying to catch it. I don't know.
At some point, the camera hits the ground, right?
Yes.
That's what you told the jury, right?
It hits the mat, yes, and rolls to the top.
Ma'am, yes or no, didn't you tell the jury that the camera hit the ground near the shower?
I know why I am not showing you the video on purpose. There was a fucking situation there that it was questionable, and I did not want to fucking show you.
Yes or
No, I said it landed on
I'm
the...
fucking throwing up camera tours in the chat. If you keep hitting the pause button, it's gonna get stuck that way. This
Is that
dude has
near
been
the shower?
workshopping this joke for the past hour and a half, dude. Finally, I read it out loud. Are you happy?
Yes.
Is the mat on the floor near the shower?
Yes.
And the camera hitting the mat, would that be near the shower?
Yes.
And you then said that Mr. Alexander...
Wait, what is this? This clip from the Jodi Arias trial is so fucking crazy.
Did he ever ask you to wear an outfit like that?
No.
Did he ever ask you to...
What is that?
Did he ever ask you to wear an outfit like that?
No.
Did he ever use phrases?
You puts me on another planet. You are the ultimate slut in bed. No wonder I blow enormous loads every time. I want to send one down your throat.
That you're the ultimate slut in bed?
No.
And did he talk to you about blowing enormous loads every time?
No.
What the fuck?
Did he ever ejaculate on your face?
No.
Did he ever call you a whore,
No.
a slut,
No.
a three-hole wonder?
No.
A three-holed wonder? Dude, that's fun. Dude, what is happening here, dude? What does that even mean? What's a three-holed wonder? Oh, her asshole, her pussy, and her mouth. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's... It was stuff Jodi alleged Travis said and wanted to do to her.
Did he ever tell you how he wanted to tie you to a tree and, quote, put it in your ass?
No.
Must have had a different relationship that he did with Miss.
Wait, so that was the defense's defense, was that, like, he was a bit of a sex pest. Not a bit, but, like, actually a sex pest, right? Like, he was kinky as fuck. And that... No, it means bowling ball. Three-holed wonder. Why the fuck is sex talked about in the court? The fuck kind of respect and discipline is that? Guys, they're trying to get her. They're trying to get her out of going to jail for life, dude. What the fuck? It's a trial, dude. You know they show him naked. Like, that's how it works. They also show him murdered. Yeah, what happens if there's a fucking sexual assault case? Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to invoke the we can't talk about sex in this courtroom defense. I think they're trying to show he was abusive as well. I kind of think he was, but it doesn't. No, he was not fucking. Dude, her testimony, even her testimony about how he was abusive, revolves around like him asking for sexual acts. I think the thing was like that. She said that he would want to do anal and oral only because he's a Mormon. But also, again, a lot of that testimony is like questionable at best. Possibly because, you know, she's a fucking murderer who lied about everything, including, you know, saying that she was a fucking pedophile and shit, or he was a pedophile and shit. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and not believe the lady who stabbed this dude 28 times and then slit his fucking throat and then shot him.
Alexander became very upset, right?
Yes.
And that's what started this whole thing out, because he sort of stepped out of the shower.
Oh, and then she went and drove to have sex with her ex-boyfriend. Like immediately after. After trying to establish an alibi for herself. Wow.
And then came after you, right?
He picked me up.
That's coming after you, isn't it? And according to you, those movements culminated or continued when he grabbed you and put you down on the ground, right?
Yes.
And as a result of that, you said that you bumped your head or hit your head, right?
Yes.
And maybe it knocked the wind out of you, right?
Yes.
And that you were in fear at that point, right?
Yes, very much.
And you were able to fight him off so that you could get away, right?
I rolled.
You roll away and you begin to run down the hallway, right?
Yes.
And then you went into the closet, right?
Correct.
According to you, that's where you went and obtained the gun, right?
Yes.
When you went into the bathroom, you were able to turn around, if you will, and now you had the gun in your hands, right? That's what you told us, right?
Yes.
And that's when he was coming at you in this linebacker pose, right?
Around that time, yes.
And that's when you shot him in the face, right?
Yeah, that's when the gun went off.
So then, according to you, he fell on top of you, right?
It was kind of on top, but maybe more to the right. I don't know. It wasn't directly on top of me. I was trying to prevent him from getting on top of me.
And that's when the memory issue started, correct? Right?
I'd say that.
Actually, ma'am, the way you describe that, it's impossible for the killing to have happened in that manner, isn't it?
Objection, argumentative.
No, that's just according to you.
You'll notice that Jodi evades the majority of the questions in this next segment. She starts to realize the argument put forward is making complete sense, and will at all costs avoid saying yes to most of the points laid out for her. It's as though she knows a fundamental part of her storyline is about to be exposed.
We know that there's some action that is going on at 5:31.
Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
14, right? Something's going on, right?
Yes.
We also know
This is
that
just the regular.
Exhibit 162 is 5:32:16, which is a minute and 2 seconds later, correct?
Correct.
So you've now shot him. You've told us that the fog is rolling in and that you have no memory. You still don't know where the knife is, do you?
I don't remember a lot from that period. It could be.
Right, but you told us before that period even that you didn't know where the knife was. Do you remember just telling me that?
Today, as I sit here, I don't remember where the knife was. On June 4th, I might have remembered where it was.
Do you remember in cross-examination that I asked you if you knew where the knife was on June 4th, and you said, no, I don't remember where the knife was. And so as you shot Mr. Alexander, you by necessity then have to go look for the knife, don't you?
Damn, bro, he's getting into it,
Well,
dude.
you didn't have the knife in your hand when you shot him. Did you?
Sustained.
Did you have the knife in your hand when you shot him?
Objection, argumentative. It's the same question.
Overruled.
No, I did not.
So that means that if you didn't have the knife in your hand, you needed to go get it from somewhere, right?
I guess. I don't know.
No. There's no guessing here now. If you didn't have it in your hand and you just shot him and you rolled away, right?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
You do then agree that if you didn't know where the knife was, and Mr. Alexander didn't have...
By the way, this is why your fucking lawyers will oftentimes, tell you not to testify, like not to go on the, not to get cross-examined. Not to testify, sorry. Not to get, cross-examined.
It would take time for you to go find that knife, wouldn't it?
Objection, argumentative.
Overruled.
I don't know. I don't know where the knife was.
Right. Since you didn't know where the knife was, it would take time to go find it, irrespective of where it was, wouldn't it?
I guess under that theory?
Sure, under that theory. It would take time, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And what you're telling us, under your scenario, is that in 62 seconds, you get body slammed, you do whatever you do, but you get away, you run down the hallway, you go in the closet, you grab a gun, you back up, you shoot Mr. Alexander, he goes down, he's still pawing at you and saying, fucking kill you, bitch. And then, after you're able to get away, you go get the knife, and he ends up at the end of the hallway, all in 62 seconds. That's what you're telling us?
No, that's not what I'm saying. And he didn't say fucking kill you, bitch, till I got away. And
Pardon?
He didn't say fucking kill you, bitch, until after I got away. You said he said it before I broke away, but he said it right as I broke away.
She just created a non-argument for the purpose of deflecting from the primary contention. Whether or not Travis said those words before or after she broke away has no bearing whatsoever on the prosecutor's assertion, which he now reiterates.
And then you had to go get the knife for everything to occur so that we got here.
I don't know all the particulars of what's going on in that picture, so I can't even say if that's true or not.
You might be thinking Jodi has an argument here, that perhaps Travis was only shot and not stabbed. This would have given reason for the blood, and contend that Jodi wouldn't have had to go looking for the knife. But the medical examiner found little to no bleeding at the site of the bullet track. The probable reason for this is that Travis was already dead. But there are also medical phenomena that could still prove Jodi's narrative to be true. What she can't prove, however, is that this blood came from the gunshot.
You say that he gets shot, right?
That's correct.
Goes down. And you describe for us that he's pawing at you, and then you're able to sort of stand up, fucking kill you, bitch, and then the fog rolls in, right?
No, then I have no memory. The fog was already there.
The fog was already there. And did you or did you not have the knife with you?
I did not.
And you obtained it at some other point when you can't tell us, right?
It would appear that way, yes.
You say it would appear that way. Let's be clear, there wasn't anybody else there, right?
That's correct.
And you did stand up at some point. You remember telling us that, right?
I believe I did.
And when you stood up, he was still on the ground, right?
I don't recall looking back.
Pardon?
I don't recall looking back.
So you were, even though he's still a threat to you, according to you, and he's just threatened your life, you turn your back on the threat?
Yeah, I'm trying to get away.
This was the time she stated verbatim, the fog was already there. Yet when she feels threatened by a question, she all of a sudden has a vivid recollection. The element of the time span between the two photographs goes on for another 45 minutes.
I mean, there's like so many holes in this story, dude. It like doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're having an argument over they're having an argument over semantics at this point on an issue that is like super fucking clear cut.
Yet the full context of the argument had already been asserted by this point, and perhaps strengthened by Jodi's defensive posture throughout the entire exchange.
When a battered woman is attacked and they're defending their life, they don't know when to stop. Travis Alexander's body was stabbed 27 times. It may be that Jodi Arias didn't know when to stop.
This individual, the defendant, Jodi Ann Arias, killed Travis Alexander. And even after stabbing him over and over again, and even after slashing his throat from ear to ear, and then even after taking a gun and shooting him in the face, she will not let him rest in peace. But now, instead of a gun, instead of a knife, she uses lies. This is an individual who is manipulative. This is an individual who will stop at nothing and will continue to be manipulative and will lie at every turn and at every occasion that she has. Everything in this case points to the fact that it did not happen. There are no medical reports, there are no friends, there is no one that can come in and say anything about that. There are no medical records, there is absolutely nothing. There is a direct strike to his neck, which is an indication of somebody who is thinking, this person's not going to live. He may get away from me in the shower. He may get away from me all the way to the sink. And he may stumble his way down that hallway. But you know, I caught him.
Dude, what the fuck? Bro. I mean, this is over, dude. This is over, dude. This is fucking GG, no re, bro. Look at this. Like, it's like fucking. Is this the jury or is this actually the family? Oh, it's not the jury. That's the family. Okay, I was gonna say.
And now, rather than stabbing him anywhere else, right here. So it's a very...
Oh, it is the family. Yeah, that's her sister. That's his sister.
The other thing that she did is that she created a lie that really involves behavior that is a hot button kind of topic. How horrific it is to be accused falsely of being a pedophile. He's not here. He's not here to say, no, that's not true. And so Snake goes to the computer and doesn't find anything there. Oh, no, I changed my mind. It was actually images. First of all, her journal indicates that there wasn't such an event. Second of all, the text messages also indicate the same thing. And what human being, if that is the allegation, if they really are caring, what human being doesn't go to the police and say, or somebody else, this person is a pedophile? What she does, well, it's the new approach. It's the new approach to pedophilia. What does she do? Well, let's jump in the sack. That's what we're going to do.
The State of Arizona versus Jodi Ann Arias, verdict, count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn, in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5 jurors find premeditated, 0 find felony murder, 7 find both premeditated and felony.
Just a couple of minutes ago, you heard the verdict from the jury. What are your thoughts?
I think I just went blank.
Bro, what is this? Like they're fucking interviewing her like she's like she missed a tackle or something. You know what I mean? It's like a post-game interview. What do you have to say? Many people are saying that the Lakers were better off without you. What do you have to say to those haters?
I don't know. I just feel overwhelmed. I think I just need to take it a day at a time.
Did you avoid eye contact with Travis's family while you were in there, or did you make eye contact, and what are your thoughts on that?
I typically avoided eye contact. Travis comes from a family where they all sort of look a lot alike, so when I see their faces, I see Travis, and I see the man that abused me, and I don't want to look at that. Well, the worst outcome for me would be natural life. I would much rather die a lot sooner than later. Longevity runs in my family, and I don't want to spend the rest of my natural life in one place.
So you're saying you actually prefer getting the death penalty to being in prison for life?
Yes.
Jodi changed her mind about wanting to die. Again, during her plea to save her life, she...
The YouTube video. This guy, this is like the shortest I've ever heard this narrator on any of the... Like, He literally was just annoyed with her the entire time. The narrative popped off on this one. He's just like, she changed her mind again. Originally, she wanted to die, but she no longer wanted to die. Okay, dude. Like, yeah, she was lying about her suicidal thoughts. Like, that was
He was
a lie.
sure to mention all the charitable work she decided to take part in after being charged with first-degree murder.
A few months before trial, and by that I mean jury selection, my hair was past my waist, and I donated it. Additionally, I've designed a t-shirt.
What the fuck? Bro, that's awesome, dude. Yo, what is this defense, dude? She's such a freak.
This is the t-shirt, of which 100% of the proceeds go to support nonprofit organizations, which also assist other victims of domestic violence.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Bro, his lawyer's like, this was dumb. This guy, even he's like, dude, you're going to jail, dude. You fucking... Who wants murder hair, like, for real, bro?
We can never get him back. We are so grateful for our wonderful brother, and we feel so lucky and blessed for the time we had with Travis, however short-lived. We would give anything to have him back. Anything. Thank you.
The right thing, the difficult thing in this case, because it's never easy, her duty, the difficult thing to do under these circumstances, the only thing that you can do based on the mitigating circumstances and their lack of, is to return a verdict of death.
The simple question that's before you is, do you kill her? That's the question.
What?
She has done something very bad. She did. And you have convicted her for that. You have told her that she is guilty of first-degree murder for that. But the question is now, do you kill her?
State of Arizona versus Jodi Ann Arias, sentencing verdict.
Bro, what is that, a throw, dude? Yo, they're literally... I know it's a death penalty case, but still, she's just like... It's like, come on, are you gonna fucking murder my client or what, dude?
We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, unanimously find, having considered all of the facts and circumstances, that the defendant should be sentenced. No unanimous agreement. Signed, foreperson. Is this your true verdict, so say you want to know?
Yes. It is ordered. The defendant shall be incarcerated in the Department of Corrections for the rest of her natural life with no possibility of parole.
Jodi Arias is currently housed at the Arizona State Prison Complex. She maintains her innocence to this day.